Just standard intro, nothing fancy. People have seen this a million times. No big deal.
Can we just skip it? Can we just go right? Can we just cut this short and just go right to the show?
No. There's a branding thing that we should probably do.
Is that part of the contract?
No, the contract was only that thing about no candles. But I just think that don't burn any candles during the show.
Oh shit.
The hazard.
Oh, seriously?
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, dude, that's in the contract. You guys.
Oh boy. What happens if we breached it many times? And a lot tonight.
I think everybody better go back and read the contract.
Woo! Good evening.
Happy, what was it? Devil's Night?
Good evening.
Yes,
Devil's Night.
I had the whole thing written up in my show notes.
We always called it Mischief Night.
Oh, it's Mischief.
It's Mischief Night or Devil's Night or Cabbage Night or Gate Night or Corn Night, Beggar's Night, Goosey Night.
Corn Night?
Yeah, that's in
every night's
Nebraska.
Corn Night. We talk about
Nebraska. I was gonna say Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska. That's Corn Night in Nebraska, and in let's see, Mischief Night is in New Jersey and coastal Northeast. Devil's Night.
Yeah, that's right, Maryland,
Detroit, and Michigan. So that's you, Jake.
Mischief.
Cabbage Night.
Cabbage Night.
And Ohio.
Cabbage.
Yes, really. Because you know how they throw rotten eggs and shit like that. Gate Night.
We just do regular eggs.
Midwest. Okay. Corn Night, Nebraska. Beggar's Night, a name used in Iowa, and Goosey Night. So New Jersey has two names. So the night before Halloween.
Goosey Night in Springfield, Ohio?
Jersey Texans, let me know.
That was good.
Did you ever call it Goosey Night?
No. The night before Halloween is often associated with mischief, such as throwing eggs, smashing pumpkins, or decorating with toilet paper. And I just wrote, I doubt we will be throwing eggs, but who knows with this show. So there you go. That's what I had.
Did anyone ever egg a house or a car?
No?
No, I've had mine egged in my life. And as a grown up.
Mischief Night, they say.
I
don't think I did.
Was a fucking pro at that stuff.
As long as it wasn't mine.
Sometimes we would sit there with eggs when a car would pull up and just fake it. Jeez. They can't get mad. What are they gonna do? I didn't do anything.
Well, they still very much can get mad.
I didn't do anything.
Hey guys, how's
you
my
gonna get out of your car and chase me?
There?
It sounds good, I think.
All right.
My friends and I would TP each other's houses, but not strangers.
Did you?
Yeah, I
don't think I did it.
We'd wait for somebody who deserved it. We didn't just get random people.
Well, all of our friends deserved it.
One time a guy broke up a fight between my brother and I. And we were really fighting. And he broke us up. And we were like, we're getting that fucker.
Oh, plus
he was clearly the good guy here. He was clearly
nails.
Oh,
mind your business, buddy. Yeah, it's cool. I like your background too.
It's the whole world's business when kids are scrapping. You must intervene. Otherwise, you're letting a child fight club happen. You can't have that.
I agree with you, but only as an adult now.
Yeah.
When I wasn't an adult, what was I going to be like? Oh, he did the right thing. Nope.
Yeah.
I want to know if anybody notices anything different about me tonight.
I notice you have a rad background. You have gorgeous nails.
Not you. Out in internet land, Jake.
Shout out to internet land.
One of these things is not like the others. Come on. Can you tell which one? Can you guess which thing is not like the other? You guys know that song?
My background,
is that
right?
A song?
But there's
is that your song? Is it
Sesame Street?
Sesame Street. I wasn't much of a Sesame Street watcher.
Oh, but you can start now. They have so last I checked, it was all on HBO, and you can go back to episode 1. It's amazing. It's not. You don't even have to be like, I'm not a kid. I can't appreciate this. You
Well,
will
that's the
be like,
thing.
holy shit! Early Muppets is very.
I
cool.
did not. I didn't watch it as a kid. I do watch like the franchise as an adult. Like I've seen their pirate movie and what have you. I'm a fan. I just not so the references sometimes fly over my head.
Oh,
such
the
as
show. So you don't know the guy who? Okay, anybody Sesame Street fan? Anybody?
I haven't seen every episode.
You know,
but
1,
I
2,
saw
3,
it as a
4,
kid.
5, 6,
Oh,
7, 8, 9,
sure.
10,
When my
11,
daughter
12.
I
was
know all those
little.
numbers. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the
I
song.
know all those.
Oh.
How about the one where the guy's got the pies or whatever, and he goes,
Down to Sesame
10
Street.
chocolate cakes, and he falls and spills them all, and he's like, got one left. He goes,
Yo.
1 chocolate cake. That's awesome.
No, I think Matt's just having a seizure. Actually,
Did you get any new animation cells, Andrea?
one.
Oh yeah, nice. What'd you get? What is it?
I got
Well, oh, it's that one. Oh,
What?
Oh,
I can tell it
Krill.
here.
Whoa. It's
That's
Krill
awesome.
after the cells or
Same.
during the
He's
cells?
got hair.
Yeah.
You got like a hardcore
When he
collection going.
becomes a cop.
Which
Eh,
of
well, a
these
little bit.
4 is not like the other?
Come on, can you tell which one? Can you guess which thing is not like the other?
Which one doesn't belong? I always felt like the not belonger.
I thought Bert and Ernie were so
Oh.
cool. And when people said they were
Yeah.
gay, I got mad. Now, there's nothing wrong with them being gay, but they said it as if it was an insult, like, they're
Yeah.
gay. And I'm like, why can't they just be roommates? And if they are boyfriends, so what? They're not making a thing about it on the show. Leave it
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
alone.
They're
Right,
definitely gay, by the
exactly.
way.
But you
just
know,
so we all know.
everybody has to sexualize everything. It's the United States.
Yeah, that's
Although
the
they
only
wanna
thing I got
I
beef
love
with.
They want to take
sexualize
that
the
away
puppets.
from us.
1978.
Oh, how
Yo.
cute that is.
1978. Went with me to Children's Hospital, get my tonsils out.
Aw,
All
That's
his hair
great.
got lost over the years. Still got it.
that's
Well, it's
wonderful.
been
Yeah.
like sewn together because it was messed up.
That's how it happens, though.
I think I had my
Missing an
daughter's
ear.
BB, we called it, some rabbit thing. And I think it might be in the uh-oh, here we go again with this stupid camera.
One time
Only
somebody
on
said,
your-
that's a sad
only on
looking
the
Ernie
show.
doll. And I could feel
It's
myself
cute.
unreasonably and irrationally I was like, the fuck did you? It was like insulting like my
yeah,
child
you're
or
like,
so. I was
what?
so mad.
I can hate this thing. Oops. It's very cute. And I can just imagine. I'll be right back.
Do you guys have irrational reactions to like one? Is there one thing that will trigger
Oh,
you where you're
yes.
like, that's it, fuck it?
What a
Yes. All right.
There's many.
problem.
If someone out there says Mega Man X6 is a bad game, I will get very upset. However, I will say it's rational. I'm very rational, reasonable, even with my anger and rage.
You're rational with your anger and rage?
Yes.
Come up, camera.
I'm sure. Wait, I'm
Yes.
realizing now Captain Kangaroo was messed up. Really? All
Mr.
those
Green
crazy show
Jeans.
He
memories
what?
were from that one. Huh.
The moose.
What was
yeah, that
messed
a
up
weird-
about Captain Kangaroo?
Well, when he went off air,
Kangaroo.
somebody took over for him who
Bob
was
Keeshan.
obsessed with him.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
really?
it was
I heard
like they
about that.
let his weird obsessed fan take over, and it was not
Yeah.
normal. It was really
It was
weird.
not good.
That sounds awesome.
Well, what? Okay, so if somebody talks about a particular Mega Man,
Mega Man X6. People don't like it, but it's actually the best one.
okay, so you get irrationally like you
No,
would
very
be
rational.
like, that's dumb. Oh no,
But I've had
irrational.
multi-hour-long debates.
There
I spent my
is
entire day debating the subject.
there's one thing you
Hmm.
can do to me where I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry, it's over. We're done here. And I'll
What
walk
is it?
away like forever. And I recently told somebody, I was like, dude, I don't do that because I have a very irrational reaction. If you do it one more
Right.
time, I'm calling it. And they're
Oh,
like,
Phil.
good to know how I can trigger you. And I was like, well, yeah, you can look at it that way if you want to, but it will be over if you don't.
You got.
Are you
what
gonna
is the
say what it
thing?
is?
Will
And it's
be
not-
over.
it's-
Are we
So-
dangling this out?
It's so stupid. What'd you say?
Are you gonna tell us what it is?
But yeah, then people will do it.
You brought up this conversation is all I'm gonna say.
I
You were like,
asked,
hey, do you
I
guys
asked
have a
if
thing?
you guys did.
Now you're being coy, like
I don't feel like you adequately answer my question, so I just step in and let you know exactly what degree of irrational I was looking for.
the thing that makes me irrationally angry
What
is when somebody
degree?
offers
Whoa,
a
that's heavy.
hypothetical but doesn't
Okay.
answer it themselves.
Okay, so
I agree with that.
if
I'm
somebody
extremely upset.
like, hear me out. If somebody emails me
Okay.
and then shoots me a text, hey, check your email, we're done.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
you want to
Really?
see fucking I got 6 email inboxes. They're all empty unless I want an email to be in there. I do not need
Oh,
you
very
or anyone to tell
interesting.
me to check my fucking. I'm
I'm
looking at the
standing
At the
email.
very least,
I'm looking
give
at the
it,
email.
like,
Oh,
a
new
day.
email. Here, I'll look at it. Oh, here's the
Someone's
text.
gotta
Check your
follow
email.
me.
Yeah. I've been
Those
self-employed
bastards.
commercial designer and graphic artist since 2015. I check my fucking email. I know within minutes the new it's
Mm.
Fair.
Mm.
That's fair. I understand.
and it's
People
not
do that
rational.
to me,
It's
but
not normal of me to do that.
my
I
email.
shouldn't have
Do you
that.
get a lot of junk in your email boxes? Because I get
Filtered.
so much crap.
New
I'm
filtered,
filtering it.
clean.
I'm trying. I
Mark as
deleted
spam, unsubscribe.
probably. I think I deleted hundreds of thousands over a million years. It was a big project last month. I just said, if I haven't seen it, if it's important, oh well.
Yeah.
They're done.
That's how I feel about all those. Please respond. If you don't, we'll send you to prison notices I get in the mail from the government. I just say, if it's important,
yeah.
they'll let me know.
They'll send the sheriff if it's real important. Yeah.
There's a reason behind my moving madness, by the way.
Gary Gnu is from
Moving
the
back.
Great Space Coaster.
Hello.
You guys remember Gary? No Gnu's is good Gnu's with Gary Gnu.
Oh, I
He's the
like
news
that.
guy.
Boo!
I wasn't aware, but I like that a lot.
Well,
That's good.
we could do this all day too. Oh yeah, romper room where she used to say pepper and salt instead of salt and
I
pepper.
was very
It was
I
like
don't
this
hardly
lady's
remember,
crazy. She's a psycho.
That
you can
reminds
tell.
me of
Right
my
back.
favorite Pokemon game, Silver and Gold.
Jelly and peanut butter sandwiches, and we're like, it's peanut butter and jelly. Fuck is wrong with you, lady?
Yeah, that something about that does just irk.
It reminds me of that movie, Jason versus Freddy. Has anyone seen it?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's evil. That's an evil thing you've said.
Speaking of which, I'm on Friday the 13th, part 8. I'm going to finish the series
Oh.
tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
I've been marathoning over the last week, so.
There was a
What a-
rumor that one of the Beastie Boys was in the first one for a
Maybe.
long time.
Maybe it's possible. Kevin Bacon's in the first one.
Yeah.
He dies very
Y'all.
quickly.
This December, we've got a Friday the 13th. I don't know if I ever told you this, but my old roommate and I made up a holiday. It was, now hear me out. We were young. It was called Whiskey Tits and Fireworks Day. And it was, we could only ever afford the whiskey. But the point is, it's every Friday the 13th. You take the day off work and you goof around. And it's supposed to be like hillbilly shit,
Locked.
basically.
Like
Okay.
Mountain Dew. Do you drink
Hillbillies.
Mountain Dew?
Yeah. Yeah, Mountain Dew, N64, Huff and Glue, whatever. Hillbilly shit.
Up and Glue and Mountain Dew. Appalachia.
You know what? I met somebody this weekend that told me
Ooh.
where I live is called, we live in North Appalachia. 10 years I've been living here. I
That
didn't
explains
know
a lot.
that
Got him.
Damn.
Perfect.
I'm sorry.
North
Oh, now I
Appalachia.
get it.
Yeah. But I've only been here 10 years, so I'm a North Appalachia transplant. But I
Huh.
never knew that this area was considered that.
I
It's
did
pretty
work
wild.
camps
Yeah.
in Appalachia, like West
You were
Virginia.
at work camps? What was that?
Work camps for Habitat for Humanity, where
Oh, wow.
in high school we would go build a house. The
Is that what
deal
they call it
was
now?
the deal was you would get a house. Your family would get a house if you assisted in fixing it up, building it. and they would have
Right.
a lot of volunteers, and so we would go out there over like a week or 2 weeks. It was like Appalachian, West Virginia, though. So
Interesting.
after 2 weeks, you were like, "Are we going home now?"
Hey, Votron comes into all of our chats, right? The guy that writes in capital letters. Votron.
I don't know.
I've never seen Votron until now.
Really?
Yeah.
I believe Votron is an old friend, a very groovy friend.
Oh, okay.
Groovy to see you. Yeah, he's in my chat, but it's very cool. I mean, yeah, he likes the
Yeah, we know
capitals, but
Votron.
He's been
Votron,
dragging
what's
on
up?
sometime.
we don't yell at him about the capitals. No.
So I made a holiday. I've never told you guys about the holiday I created.
No. What holiday did you create?
It's just called Cold Time, where it was like, whatever holidays you celebrate during the winter months.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of arguing over happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever, it's all cold time. Let's just do cold
I
time.
like that.
And then
I like that a lot.
and why not? Because are you telling me Hallmark doesn't want in on this cold time card?
Oh, they will.
How does this
Why not?
how does this transfer to the southern hemisphere?
No,
Well, cold
it
is a
doesn't.
relative thing.
Sorry.
Ooh,
Ah,
ooh, we
Fair
want to
enough.
talk about the southern
That's not
but
good.
hemisphere.
if
Well, it's all
Or-
going to be the southern hemisphere in what, 5 years?
there's is there
We're
a
fine.
cool,
I've been noticing you've been
Has a shelf
slipping in a
life.
lot of climate stuff lately.
You're welcome.
if there's a cold time
Yes, I
mascot,
love
tell
you
us it.
too.
If not, let's come up with one.
The cold time math,
Yeah.
so
I feel like
is the monkey of cold time. And
You know what really pisses me off?
What?
no, wait.
Let
We can't
Letterhack
just
finish. I didn't know.
jump
if I
past
was-
the
it was just
monkey
like
cold
I
time.
just wanted a monkey with a blue Santa cap side by side with every other holiday mascot.
I like
like,
the
so
idea that
whatever
it's not
your
like
thing
a
is-
trained monkey or a magic monkey. It's
It's there.
just the only thing is it has a hat. It'll
I
still rip
did-
your eyelids off.
Where
That's
can I
awesome.
find this? I did a series of cards one year.
Eat your lips.
I'll never be able to find this.
I'm sorry, Andrea. What were you saying?
Oh yeah.
Eat your lips.
You know what? Like, if I were to ask a question, what month do you associate with winter?
Oh, now?
December.
December.
But December is only 2 out of 3.
Yeah, I think now January.
December, January,
It's February
and
for me.
March.
When I think winter, it's February. It's cold.
Yeah,
as
you're right. Me
fuck.
too. Me
The
too.
winter
February.
The
is
thick
it's
of
it's been
winter.
going on forever now. I haven't seen the grass in fucking goddamn like years at this point. It feels like
Yeah.
February is
No, I'm
but
with
the
you.
end is
December is
nigh
autumn.
at that
December is autumn. Come on, it's autumn. December's autumn.
Well, it depends. But here it's been 74 freaking degrees.
I
I
think
mean,
January,
we've
February.
gotten a few frosty mornings, but it's warm here. Like
Now
We're
you all
so
make
staying
interesting
warm.
points, but can I suggest you shut your whore mouths?
December.
It's December. Christmas is there. Jesus' birthday, more importantly, my birthday.
Our what?
Both are wintertime festivities. Famously.
But
Nobody's-
however, Letterhack's birthday, autumn, takes place in the fall.
Madness. It is a
And I
winter
am a
holiday as
spring.
well.
December 10th? Yeah, I'm all Sagittarius.
We
My
having a
wife did my
party
birth
for
chart.
you?
I'm 100% Sagittarius except for like
Oh.
one house in Scorpio, which is just I think means I'm wild in the bedroom, but I don't know. I don't really know if
I
that's
want to
true
be
anymore.
born
I love you,
amongst
Votron.
Matt, we should be born amongst the ice and snow, not autumn. The leaves fall.
I'm pretty cold
hell no.
on the inside. I'm practically dead on the inside.
Thank you.
I'll one up
Alright.
you. I was never alive on the inside, so
I've
therefore
given
I can't die.
bartenders icicle
That's
eyes
funny.
before, like
You're
Ice
funny.
is- Damn.
Lucy.
I-
Andy,
you's funny.
what's your birthday
So,
season?
tax day.
Fair. That
April.
sucks.
April 50th. Yeah, but yeah, tax day. It's okay. They give you
Oh, fair
extensions
enough.
all the time. Can I extend myself from getting older? That's why I need an extension.
I think
There we go.
the thing is,
Yes.
it people have this idea that it should snow on Christmas. People have this idea that there should be certain weather associated with certain events.
Holidays.
And
Sure.
to me, that's always been like
Hoopla.
because of Hollywood or something. I don't get it. Like why,
I
right?
don't know.
But like my birthday, I just want it to be on a Saturday every time. I don't know why.
Because
I
it's more
associate
fun on Saturdays. It used
days
to
of
be
the
the day
week
off.
with the event, not time of year. Like it doesn't have to be cold. It doesn't have to snow
right.
on my birthday. I just always wish it was on a Saturday. I don't know
Well,
why.
yeah.
I'm in Aries.
What do you mean
Is
you don't
that-
know what? Because
Then I could
'Cause-
have the whole weekend, like
Yeah.
just be like, I call it Matt weekend of Matt.
yeah,
How about this? Do the whole week.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
I like
See,
to
when my
treat the
birthday
whole
comes
year like
around, I
it's my
take the whole
birthday.
year off.
I
Oh,
beat
You
your ass.
take
Do
the whole
that.
year off.
yeah, we should all do
That
that.
means I'm still off.
Yeah.
Okay. I had a birthday party this year, but I told you guys all about it. It was fun.
Yeah,
It was
I'm.
very
Let's-
nice, actually.
Let's all
And it
make
was
a
a
ton of
shock.
money this year so we can have financed adventures.
Speaking of money, $20 super
What?
chat from
Hell,
Dave Marvin.
God
Thanks,
damn.
Dave. When
Oh.
I was a rafting and mountaineering guide in Alaska, our entire town would have a softball tournament on the summer solstice. Then we would drink a bunch of beer and jump into the fjord.
Yeah.
Fjord.
Yeah, the fjord.
Fjord.
Naked at
Fjord.
midnight.
You had it
Fjord?
first time.
How would you say fjord?
Fjord.
Yeah.
Naked at midnight.
Naked at
Best
midnight.
holiday. That sounds
Hell
Dave
yeah.
lives
pretty
in
great.
Alaska, and so does my gym. He lives in Fairbanks. My partner, my partner, oceanographer Jim Massa,
I would normally just say
the science teacher.
fjord, but that's one of those things that how often do you guys say that word out loud?
Fjord.
Yeah.
Well, on
Never
my
said
Well,
it out
show,
loud
Sandy,
in my
you
life.
probably say it
we're
more.
more likely to say it on my show.
Andrew said never.
I've only spelled it.
No,
Jake, once a day.
fjord.
I've used the word. I've used the word Ford. I've literally never before this moment heard.
Well, of course you
even
love
that word.
Ford.
True. Not for the cars or anything. I just love Nazis.
If you say Ford around my father-in-law, he'll go Ford.
Then you liked
Fix or
Elon's
repair
hat.
daily.
Fix or repair
Not a
daily.
fan.
I grew up with that. The Fords were fix or repair daily.
No,
Yeah.
more of a
I will
GM
be right
man.
back.
One from our genre. Cars. Mm.
Yeah,
The
I
J I'm just so confident of because of Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, and being a giant nerd.
what was the name of your holiday, Jake?
Whiskey Tits and Fireworks Day.
You know what that reminds me of? We had a store in my hometown called Liquor, Mart, and Deli, and we used to call it Liquor, Fart, and Smell Me.
Yeah.
But it was like we'd
It
call
was
it that. And it
all
was
in
just
one.
we'd be like, "Hey man, let's roll over to Liquor, Fart, and Smell Me and grab some beers," and be like, "Okay." And it wasn't like not a joke anymore. It was just what we called
Yeah.
them.
It just became.
liquor, fart, and smelling.
Yeah.
I
My
worked.
my
with
wife
that
Sounds like a
taught me.
boy thing.
at the same. Oh yeah, I worked with that roommate at the same job, and they eventually figured out what was going on because every Friday the 13th we would both call in and be like, "Ah, I can't. I'm sorry," or it would be
Wow.
take. Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, we used to prank call
Sorry, I got canceled.
every now and then.
You
You
got
can't do
canceled?
this. You can't do this all the time at your job unless you have multiple managers and you could prank them. But on April Fool's Day, when I was in the restaurant industry, we would call like 10 of us would call a minute apart, be like, "Yeah, I can't make it in."
Ah,
And the manager would be
That's
like,
good.
"Oh, okay, let me call so and so." But then the very next call would be, "Hey, what's up? It's me. I can't make it in. Thanks." And just hang up real quick.
Yeah.
Of course, we're all like
Yeah.
there already, but that's pretty good.
Remember
That's
what
good.
happened to
That's a solid
Adrian?
prank.
What'd you say?
I wonder what happened to Adrian.
Oh, I don't know.
Now
Yeah,
Andrea.
So, so let me explain to everybody. We were gonna have Ravana on tonight. Something came up. It's okay. It happens. We're rescheduling. Don't worry. Ravana will return.
Good.
Of course, we're all looking forward to that. And we wish she was here, but
Still
it's
gorgeous,
totally
though.
understandable. We're not jerks. I know Jake got all pissy about it, but I was like, Jake,
I
let it
did.
go. So
I did.
That's why we were late this morning, because Jake was having a temper tantrum through something. We had to take a little minute here to kind of cool down. So apologies for
yeah.
the 5-minute
It's a-
delay.
Roll me on
And
my back.
we were gonna have
Or my
Adrian
tummy.
Vixen on. We still might. She might show up, but she had an early stream today. In all likelihood, went to bed. Totally fine. That's okay. Look, if
Yeah,
you're
but she
missing
wanted to
this,
come
you're
on
not
with
exactly
us, right?
well. But if you're missing this, you're not exactly missing out on this, right? Fair to
This is the
say.
last
Every time
show
I miss
before
the
the
show,
election.
I miss you
This
guys
is going to be a
terribly.
historical document.
I'm
Yeah,
saying our
this might be
guest.
the last left past 10 that's filmed outside of a bunker.
Oh
Could
my
be.
God.
I live
That's
in South
right.
Carolina, you guys. I'm safe. They point all the weapons outward.
Oh, that's what you think. Yeah, but
I'm safe, but I'm outed here because I used to fly the ecology flag.
Look, seriously, what
how effed is that?
what
man?
what do you think is? I don't even know.
Kamala's
I
going to
had a
win. I'm
whole
not concerned.
I had a whole
That's
show
my
on it
official
last
prediction.
night. I feel like
300
I've said it
EVs?
a million times. You think Kamala's gonna win? Dundee?
300. That's my guess.
Okay.
God.
Yeah,
Jake?
I mean, what do I
Ugh.
think is going to happen? I think regardless whether she wins or we got to buckle up for fascism, it will be the job of the people to no longer let our entire fate be decided on election day. So the
Yeah.
thing to do is going to be get real familiar with contacting your representative.
Yes. Fucking A. And like vote in primaries. Know what you're talking about when it comes to politics. It's
Yep.
everyone, there's no more excuses. This whole like anxiety at the last second is not good for anybody. But
Yeah.
I
do you
just have
think
anxiety at every second.
do you think if she wins, fascist temper tantrum? And what does that look like?
Yes,
Mm.
absolutely. A lot of people will die in the next coming weeks.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Oh, you think die? It's going to be
Yes.
that bad?
I don't
That's
think
my
they're brave
prediction.
enough
I'm
for
not
that.
going out.
Interesting.
I better take care of any more
Wait,
appointments.
Andrea, elaborate.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're already blowing up ballot boxes. They're doing the Nazi rallies with thousands of participants. We got the militias all over the country. They're already installed in several key swing state, like election officers, are people that are going to throw out ballots and stuff. So I think most likely, I think that we're going to see another red mirage type situation, but then Kamala is going to be declared the winner over the course of the week. And then they're going to have a temper tantrum. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were violence that erupts on election day at voting locations. I think that that's very likely to happen.
I do as well.
Well, I don't know if that would happen here, but I decided not to do it this year. It's too many hours. But it's probably best that I didn't stay under the radar as much as I can.
No,
I
maybe.
mean, I'm all over the fucking internet, but I did a Google search on myself the other night, and it wasn't that bad, except that it doxed you right out, my whole address and everything.
Damn.
It was kind of wild. That's all right. I'm like everybody knows, I'm prepared. It's
What do you
it
think's
is.
gonna happen?
Nothing. I locked my gate. You can't drive in. I have cameras. I know
Oh,
if somebody's
the
there.
rest
End of story.
in the country.
Oh,
Andrea
what
thinks
do I think is gonna?
violence on election night,
Oh, what
possibly
do I
after.
think? I think Andrea might be right, being that we are like a country of clueless, moron, testosterone laden, in undereducated people. I mean, I
Fair
know
enough.
them. I know them, and they don't read. They share around Facebook bullshit without fact checking. And these are people, I know they don't fact check. They get mad at me when I call them on it. Some people are really respectful because I've been posting some probing things. Tonight was about health insurance and Medicare, and that is actually a very good policy. And I pretty much said, listen, I was the benefits person when we put the ACA in, and the pre-existing conditions was amazing change, and that will be gone because Project 2025 calls for a big change, and they want to get rid of the administrative state, but that covers Medicare and benefits and all. And if everything is privatized, goodbye pre-existing conditions, and it will never be. The thing is, they want to say everything's between you and your doctor, right? Privacy, but that's not true. It will be you and your insurance company, worse than it is now, because insurance companies turn down so much. And so
enough.
I said in that meme to anybody on Facebook, debate me because you'll lose. I mean, you will lose to me on benefits.
You know,
Matt, what's your prediction?
well, you know how you see like a sci-fi movie and they
That's a
depict the
good
future and
policy.
you're like, oh shit, that would be wild. But in reality, it's going to be a lot like this in the future. It's not going to be much different. Things will be shittier, but it's
Yes,
not going to be super
T-Bone.
advanced with everyone in flying cars, and that's not going to happen. And so I think part of me is imagining a lot of like disorganized chicken shits who can't get it together enough to pull off violence. I wouldn't
Well,
put it
organized,
past.
is one thing, but just like random crazies.
That's what I'm saying, is I wouldn't put it past the one-offs because that shit happened the first time Trump got elected. Remember that guy in the van with all the fucking stickers all over it who was
Oh my
doing
God,
bombs
that
and
guy? Is
yeah,
he still
remember
in prison?
a lot of
Cesar, his name was.
Stochastic.
Cesar.
say it again, Jake.
Stochastic.
Stochastic. I always want to say
Yes.
Isn't it
scholastic.
stochastic?
Stochastic terrorism.
Isn't it
Yeah,
scholastic terrorism?
Nobody has ever
stochastic.
done anything to say, hey, you crazy fuckers, stop with the bombs and the gun. They don't care. They will
Yeah.
let that stuff happen. They go, well, I never told anybody to do it. And it's like, you're not telling them not to do it. So there's going to be a whole lot of people who just feel emboldened. I don't know if it's enough to do any like Civil War type level
I don't
stuff,
think so.
but I'm afraid
Well, the
for
government
who
took care
ends
of
up
that.
in the way of those crazy fuckers, man. That's really what worries me about the whole thing, no matter who wins. And I think if Trump wins or the Republicans have enough power, they will do any part of Project 25 they can manage to do.
Mhm.
And last
Yeah.
time we were
Right.
like, oh, they're like doing a wrecking ball to the government. This time they will change the government in a way that could be irreparable
They're gonna
or
put
take
Elon
too long
Musk
to
in the White
repair.
House. Like
Yeah,
just
that kinda
simple,
crazy shit.
like this is like mathematical. Let's simplify our fractions.
Like,
These motherfuckers are gonna put Elon in the White House. Like, come
like
on.
before it was like, Jared Kushner, really? Your son-in-law? You're gonna give him all that stuff? And why is Ted Nugent in the White
God, and
House?
he's
And
a
now it's
dumbass.
just gonna be like
complete
way,
dumbass.
way, way worse. So
Yeah.
my
All right.
thing is Kamala wins. I don't think this country is
Mhm.
gonna allow democracy to die in the darkness, right? I don't think people are gonna
Right.
allow that shit show to take place. Then again,
Mhm.
I lose faith in humanity. I'm constantly trying to like say, nope, we'll do the right thing. I have faith in humanity. And then I drive around and I'm like, fuck all these inconsiderate pricks that don't care about anybody else but themselves. And I
Did y'all hear
don't.
Biden call them all garbage? We had our basket
Yeah,
of
good for him.
horrible garbage. About
it's just
damn time.
too much. Yeah. And then Trump shows up to his rally in a dump truck dressed as a garbage man. Like,
Was
just,
that really true?
yeah.
I
Not
saw
true,
a
was it?
thing on.
Oh, yeah.
I
And
was watching
without that
movies all
navy
day. I
blue
missed it.
jacket,
in a
it looked like he was in the heaviest makeup. People were saying it looked like he was in blackface makeup because with just a white shirt, it made his face look
Wow.
so. I mean, we're
I
gonna have to
didn't
find a
see
picture.
it.
But my
Yeah,
thing
I
is
got a
like,
picture. Pull it up.
I
I want to see it live on stream.
let me just say it as succinctly as I can.
Go for it.
Okay. And
I'm
then I wanna
torn
talk-
between how I
also
want
wanna
it to
talk
go
about-
and how I think it'll go. And I'm wrestling with this all the time. What I really think is going to happen is we're not going to let that shit happen. There will be consequences no matter what. And people need to be ready for that. And we need to be focused on, like Jake was saying, everyone needs to start to get involved, pay attention, and we need to be focused on the next best candidates instead of being
Mhm.
like, oh, is there a primary this week? No, no, no. We need to be helping these candidates from the jump way
Yeah.
before that.
Right.
Like everyone, especially if you have any kind of a platform. Did you find the picture?
Mhm.
Yeah. So this is fucking
haven't
real,
seen
you
this
guys.
before.
This is not
Is this
fake.
real?
Yeah, this is not fake.
You're all about. I haven't seen this. Is my.
Now that
Oh
And he
my
almost,
God!
he almost fell on his ass
Holy
opening that
shit!
door.
now I know
So
that he
he's-
looks like a
so-
blow up doll that's designed to
But the
induce
metaphor-
ED, but in fact,
We're taking out the trash. That's
presidential
the
candidate.
metaphor. We're getting rid of him. We're taking
What is
out
that
the trash.
photo on the left?
Jesus
That's him.
Christ.
That's how he talks. He's just
That's his
talking.
toilet plunger look.
he wishes
Yeah.
that microphone were what it appears to be. There's just nothing good about this person. I heard
This guy's gonna
Yeah,
win.
Who
though.
who looks at this
you
guy and
imagine?
goes, "He's the best." What the fuck?
He's the goat.
This guy got fucking. He became the president, and he's still here.
All right.
this is
Hmm.
insane. And I heard a comedian put it best, and he wasn't talking about Trump voters, he was talking about Tony Hinchcliffe. But I
Ugh.
think this applies to
God.
Trump voters. And it's basically like you can say, like, these folks hide in ignorance all the time, and they pretend to believe a series of wacky explanations for why Trump didn't really mean a genocide here, or he wasn't really saying this. They know what's up. Broadly
Mhm.
speaking, there's no one in the country that doesn't know that Trump's kind of a racist, and he's, at the very least, MAGA is the people you vote for when you are a racist.
And a lot of them
We
like
know
it.
that they
I'm
don't
having
know
these
how government works.
conversations.
You know what it
But
is?
we like the two things that must change are, number one, us pretending to be naive about who these folks are. Like, just having frank conversations with people, like, you know what this is. You know what this is. You're not supporting this person in any way to do with policy, because we know you don't understand the policy, because the policy harms you directly. And the other thing is, and I think the more important thing, in fact, only the thing we should really be focusing on, once somebody gets in office, whether they are Republican or Democrat, it becomes our job to bother them. We have to be politician botherers, and we do so
Yeah.
by taking responsibility for our own representatives. So you don't have to know what every representative in the country is up to, but you do have to make sure every time a major vote comes up that your representative knows how you want them to vote. It's just
Yeah.
that simple. Give your input every single time.
That's
What did my dog
exactly
Sargon
right.
say? I missed
The
that.
chat's hopping
She said,
tonight.
"Good
You
to
guys
see
are
he's still
really
researching other jobs."
good job.
Have you seen somebody react to a football game from their living room where you were like, "Dude, are you okay? Calm the fuck down." I think that's how people are treating
No one has ever watched
politics.
football in my living room. I
People.
would never allow that to
Okay,
happen.
have you ever heard of a dad at like a little league game where his kid does something wrong and he runs out cussing and screaming and flipping out on the
My dad
referee
never
or whatever?
came to my little league
The
games.
embarrassing.
But I'm
stupid,
saying the
I'm
not
aware
your
of the
person-
concept. Yes.
Mine didn't either. But the, you know what I mean though? Like that's how these
Yeah.
people. They're not. They've. It's like
They're background characters. They're
intoxicated.
extras. They're paid extras.
It's like they're
Like they
drunk.
sign up to live their lives as extras. Like that's it. They don't
You
want to
can't
do
reason
anything.
with them at some level.
They don't think. They don't feel. They're just like mannequins walking through the world. It's like the fucking body snatchers, you know. They're like,
Yeah.
they don't have anything going on in here. You know,
This
hey,
is
we
just
saw,
LARPing
you
to
know,
them.
we talked about it a couple weeks ago or whatever. Like, there's a significant portion of people, no inner monologue. They don't have anything going on.
Yeah.
Yes, that we did talk about that.
Here we go.
I'm
20%
convinced
of
that this is-
Americans, I saw this on Twitter. People are talking about
That's
this.
so wild.
20% of Americans are illiterate. They can't read and write. They don't know how to do
Well,
any of
yes,
this. They can't
I
comprehend
was
anything. They
talking
don't know
to
what
one of
words
them.
mean. 20%,
There's a
one
lot
in
of
5.
people.
1 in 5. If you go to the grocery store, there's a
Functionally.
good chance you're standing in line of 5 people. One of them cannot read. They can't read. 1 in 5. How do we progress as a society?
That's
I always think
It's
they're
going
like,
to get worse when they abolish the Department of Education, and everything is going to be Christian educational, which will be ending with 6th grade.
I always think like the people who get through life without being able to read need to realize how intelligent they actually are to be able to pull that off.
Yeah.
Right,
It's
I know
You know what I'm
someone like
saying?
It's
that.
impressive. I will say that.
Like it'd be a lot
It's
easier to
not-
just learn to read. Okay, so
Not
um,
if some people can't because of
let's
learning
put
disabilities.
well, yeah, but I mean, like, there's
But your point is
I know
taken.
there's
You're not
things you can
alone.
do, but there's a
It's-
lot
it's
of
much-
things you can do.
Can I
But
just
when you're
say
in your
also,
60s, forget it.
21% of
won't learn.
Americans are Trump voters, and about 20% of Americans can't read. I'm just going to throw those 2 statistics out there. They're not
Well.
related in any way.
yeah, and they can
That's not gonna
recognize
happen.
the word Trump. It's like
It's a
cheeseburger,
picture,
spaghetti,
you know, yeah.
Trump.
I see Trump.
bus.
I
The
press
Puerto
the
Ricans
button.
are pissed.
Okay,
That
check it out. I'm
definitely.
gonna put my own reading skills to the test
Okay.
with Dave Marvin's second $20 super chat. Thank you, Dave. Lots of Nordic
Wow,
words in the
come on,
Pacific
guys, we have
Northwest where I
questions.
live near Seattle. Look up.
Pulsbo.
Look up
Pulsbo.
Pulsbo. It's a small Norwegian town. I'm Manx, which most people don't know about. Island in the Irish Sea called the Isle of Man.
Nice.
Fjord is part of my lexicon. That's awesome.
Thanks, Dave.
And you know what, Dave? Thanks for the $40 now. And also, I'm gonna start using lexicon. I'm gonna put lexicon in my lexicon because
Very
that is
nice.
I like
There you
that. That's cool.
All
Thanks,
right.
appreciate it.
Cool.
And it's like I'm hearing it all the time. People do not push back enough on this where they go, half of Americans are for Trump. It's not
Dumb. They're dumb.
fucking true.
They're dumb. If you
Half
even believe
of
that for a second, you're
Americans
dumb. You're stupid. You never thought about it. Just look it up. 70 million people voted for Trump. That's half of 330 million.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
just
know if
makes me
at
so
this-
upset.
What happened in the?
It makes me
was it
irrationally
2020
upset.
Andrea, was it 70 million in the 2020
It was
election?
like 74 or something like that. But yeah.
Okay, so I am actually interested to see what happens. What if it's like 40 million and we really like he really does get the garbage truck?
That would be great, but I would be shocked if we got
Those
that low.
guys, I
Of
don't
course,
know.
that's
I didn't
opium because this is the United States and the world is watching. Man,
I didn't
the
look
world
into
is
this,
watching.
but I
I
heard
don't
the
wanna be
Trumps,
perceived.
the entire Trump family said
79.
they were gonna move if he loses.
Well, that was on Twitter, but I wouldn't believe
so,
that.
but it was in the same
Oh,
day.
wait, because he will get prosecuted. That's right.
Well,
They'll
but
move
it was
because
also
they have.
it was in the same day that he said to Netanyahu, wrap this up before I get elected, and people were like, oh yeah, they want to develop property over there
Sure, they do.
and then
That's
move
been
there.
one of the
Because
things.
Kushner was saying that, like, oh, a lot of people are going to be buying some oceanfront
Yes.
property.
And there are already sales
fucking
to the
assholes.
West Bank. I did the
How do you get
research.
in
I
on that?
found Walter Masterton. Walter Masterson, you can't because you're not Jewish. You couldn't go into the synagogue. Neither could he when he went down to New York City when they were having this. And I took clips from it and juxtapositioned the IDF soldiers who happened to be back in the United States for a short time versus the Hasidic rabbis, the Hasidics, that were there saying this is making all Jews look bad. It's very dangerous for Jews what Netanyahu is doing, the genocide. It was very interesting. And it all was spurred because somebody I know from Israel is totally brainwashed in that, it's a supremacism thing. It's like white supremacism, Jewish supremacism, Muslim supremacism. Everybody thinks they're the best. This is not anti-Semitic. It's just all these religions think they're the best, that they should have it. And it's terrible to think that way. I was shocked by her.
Well, I
Shocked,
think,
really
I
shocked.
don't want to derail it too much, but, religion, garbage. It's all trash.
I know, you're
It's
not
all just throw it in the
derailing it.
trash can. Let's be
Not
honest.
some
isn't it?
aspects of spirituality. I have some amazing people that
Well,
follow us that
spirituality is totally fine. Like I personally
they're
think that's
back-
an innate part of
Right.
the human condition. But religion, like the whole organization,
Yeah,
Right.
organized religion
right.
get out of here.
tends to stray for sure. I had a thought about the recent goings on that I think is both good news and bad news, and I want to
Category?
both
Recent goings on.
category, recent goings on, hypothesis. It's both good news and bad news.
The election.
Would love your opinions. Yeah, it's based on the surrounding the election. The recent
21%.
rhetoric from Trump has been ramped up racism. I mean, we can just call it what it is. Starting with they're eating the dogs, and recently,
Yeah,
let's not overlook the fact that Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke about black people loving watermelon, Jews
Yep.
being unwilling to let go of money, Palestinians throwing rocks. I guess all
Covered
this
all the bases.
and everybody that came up on that stage that night, which by the way was an America First rally in Madison Square Garden. This signaling, in other words, is not to the center. This signaling is to the far, far right. When Trump gave his speech after Charlottesville, he got the most heat for saying good people on both sides, and both sides actually basically they did.
He never said
Basically, he came out and said that he regretted going against, apologizing for saying that. He regretted going against the Nazis because now the Nazis were angry with him.
Well, that's why he's done the thing where he just pretends he never said it in the first place. So that way the
sure.
apology never happened if he never said it. So.
Well, I think the good news
It's
is
the narrative and the lie.
I think the good news is that Trump has internal polling suggesting that he's losing this thing.
He doesn't need to win because he's just going to cheat. He's already got everyone installed. Mike Johnson's going to pull some horse shit in the House of Reps. It's already over.
The bad news, well, no,
If they
if
get the
that
House,
changes
yeah.
drastically if we win the House. But yes, that's a serious concern.
Well, the
'cause
House
then there's
doesn't
the
get
bad
installed
news.
until January.
No, but they'll be in charge on January 6th. Hakeem Jeffries would be.
Well, I
be
mean,
in charge.
I think Mike Johnson's going to pull some horse shit on December in the December Electoral College meeting.
He said he's not going to. He already has publicly said he's not going to certify it. This little shit needs to go.
Let me jump to the point.
We
Good
need
news
to
is
win the
that
Congress and get his fucking ass out of there.
Yeah,
in
let's
this
hear.
reading-
Let Jake finish this because I'm
Yep.
dying to
Yep.
know what this is.
in his reading of things, it's not looking good for a legitimate victory. That's great news. The bad news is that he is signaling what he's going to do. He's signaling what kind of administration it's going to be. And in 2016, he was saying no Mexicans, no Muslims, and he damn well tried to make that happen. Now he's saying we don't give about Jews, we don't give about black people. He's just going balls to the wall fashy on this. That's the bad news, is that they're going to try to take this thing. They might successfully take it because the people the Democrats put in power have no spines. And if that happens, it's going to be a dark 4 years.
It's
Am I
interesting
being unreasonable?
that you mentioned that he's doing
No.
those rallies that pump up the base and are not meant to bring people over, because I think that's all part of the strategy. Like when you're going to Madison Square Garden to do the Nazi rally or whatever, you know it's not going to bring anyone over. Like they hired or
Yeah.
brought these people in to be Nazis, to say Nazis, to get their guys pumped up so that when they lose on TV, their guys are going to blow shit up.
Yeah, he's not looking for voters. He's looking for soldiers.
Absolutely.
That's exactly it. That's why they called the cities he was going to before there's a word for it. The cities that are pretty much all those kind of guys, that would join up. Shit. I forgot
think-
the name of it. Anybody out there remember?
Very, very interesting because we
What?
have people. Supposedly, you have people in power who would prevent some sort of hostile takeover. Merrick Garland,
Well,
the Supreme
Yeah,
Court.
Merrick
Like,
Garland,
who
yeah,
are
that
we
is not
relying
bad.
on? Joe
It could be
Biden?
why they
Joe
they
Biden.
updated Department of Defense 5240 with such procedures to be followed by. See, people are reading into it that it's the ability to use military against civilians. But and what I'm thinking is that it was, and I don't want to sound like a conspiracy. It was updated just now. It happens, but I'm wondering if that's a way of the government curtailing any kind of real violent escalation.
I don't know. I
Most
mean,
people in the military are saying no on this.
they deemed January
really not.
6th a national security special event. Just
Good.
the 6th. I mean, I'm worried about Tuesday and Wednesday next week. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that before I do not see Trump leading soldiers. I see him letting it happen and remain. He would just
He has guys to do it for him.
be
He's the
off
boss.
to the
He gets
side.
capos to go do all the
Totally
soldier stuff.
plausible
Yes,
deniability, all that
Andrea,
stuff.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but it's totally obvious like what's going on there, right? Like, hello, everyone knows, and because without Trump, I don't think we'd be in this exact situation. So, like, obviously he's leading them, right? So obviously he led January 6th and all that stuff. But I think that
Maybe not coordinating, but yeah, he's given the orders.
But like
He's
next
a
week,
co-leader.
it's going to be no matter what, he's going to say it was rigged, and because he's not going to win right away, right? So like, it's not like Trump's going to win that night. I mean,
Exactly.
and if anything can happen. Either one of them could win that night by the end of the night. Who knows? My point is, if he's at all behind, he's going to start saying it's rigged, and then he wins. Was it rigged or what? So, like, I think there could be a like where he's not screaming it's rigged because he might win. But if like you said, internally, they already know, and that night they fucking know, and people are telling him that night, this is how you know he lost. If he starts yelling that it's rigged the same night of the election, or if he's the first one to say it's rigged, that's how you know he knows he lost, right?
Even
if it's not official.
The way to handle this is to magnify the way it was handled in 2020, because I was part of the effort before the insurrection to point out, hey, Trump has said that everything he's ever lost was rigged. Here's a list. And here's the things he's saying now, and we're just going to make it part of our regular conversations to explain why this is not so. Because that's why people know what the blue wave and the red wall and the mirage and all that is. I think we got to start doing that now. Like Trump just said, we have a little secret, Mike Johnson and I. Just start
This
pointing that
guy
stuff
is
out.
such an imbecile.
Why would you
Just
say it out loud?
Take advantage of the fact that he doesn't have the suaveness, the competence to pull off a secret coup. He's doing it out in the open. He's already pointed to how he's going to do it. So we need to inform people beforehand so that when it's happening, we can say, perhaps you remember us saying this. So it doesn't look like, well, this is the appropriate way to react to this situation. It's certainly not something we've been plotting for months.
Can I bring something up?
No.
Okay.
Maybe next week.
All right.
No, yes, please.
Oh, well, I mentioned on this show like a
you're
couple
the
of months
boss,
ago
Andrea.
that I started using a website called Polymarket, and
Oh yeah. What are
you
they
guys may
saying?
have been seeing stuff about that. So I want to share my conspiracy theory about Polymarket as someone who's been using it for several months.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, as far as as I've been on Polymarket before, like this new like Trump 69% horse shit, it was pretty much 50-50. It was like 49-51, right? So my conspiracy theory is that Peter Thiel, the main principal investor in Polymarket, and Elon Musk, obviously they're both in the tank for Trump, wanted to pump up the numbers to make it seem like Trump is winning, but do it
Oh.
before embedding. If you can see on Twitter, if you just open up Twitter, like Polymarket's like embedded into the website with this like Trump 70% chance of winning, accurate election forecast, right? So I think Elon Musk pumped in millions of dollars into the website, and if you look at Polymarket, it's the volume on there. It's pretty high. There's millions of dollars that are traded, but if you're Elon, you have billions of bucks, right? You could very easily just pump the numbers up and then make a deal to embed it into Twitter as a way to steal or show that the election, oh, well, there's a 70% chance. There's no way he could win or he could lose, rather, I should say. Right. Even though it's all made up garbage, like anyone, if you had like $10 million and you just put it onto Polymarket, you can make Kamala Harris have 80% chance of winning. It's that easy. So anyway, I hope that they give me my money when Kamala wins, but 30 cents on the dollar. Hey, but I don't think they will.
I am probably going to put money on that. I like the idea of adding financial insults to emotional injury.
Another thing about Polymarket is it's illegal to use in the United States, and yet they're running this huge advertising campaign in the United States. Isn't that interesting?
That is.
Very strange. You need to use a VPN if you live in the US.
Dang it. Can I just give you my crumpled $5 bill?
Sure.
I saw an AI image on Twitter of Trump in like a hard hat, and he was like mining in a pile of dirt or whatever. Like he was mining, and he was pulling out a perfect coin. It was already sculpted and everything. And I was like, this is the dumbest shit. I don't know what this is, but it's like somebody took time to make this and said, that's it, and put it online.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll make him look like a miner with a hard hat. And even though he's outside, and he finds the perfect coin. He just mined a coin fully fashioned.
First try. Yeah.
Fuck. But why? But do I have to say coins don't come out of the ground? I mean, this is
right.
ridiculous.
Right.
That's why I just hate this shit so much, man. I want it to go away. I want it to be done. I can't believe we're here again.
It's going to get worse.
This guy got stomped in the election and then led an insurrection. He's a total fucking lunatic. He's getting worse. He's sunsetting before our eyes, physically, mentally. He's always been a prick forever.
Yeah.
The best that's ever going to be is right now. Going forward, the best that's ever going to be is right now. It's only
because he will be like the CEO and will be a corporation, and JD Vance and the tech bros will run it, and we will be just treated like kind of crap, people.
No, I just cannot. But I get that. I'm saying I can't believe. Just having a moment. This is not like saying somebody explain to me how we got here. I don't fucking know. Right. This is my moment. Is why I can't believe this happened. It's like, my personal motto in life is never put myself in a situation where I always say, why do I always put myself in this situation? I only need to do it one time before I'm like, fuck that. I'm not going to do it again. And I can't tell you how many times, like, I love my wife, but I can't tell you how many times where I'm like, no, I'm not going. And she's like, why? And I'm like, my motto. I'm not going to put myself in that situation again. I already know it's not going to work. I'm not doing it. And she's like, oh,
I do
okay.
that you've told her this thing so often that you're like, my motto.
Oh yeah.
You should have like
No, yeah.
She's
We've
cool about it.
been together
printed
since high
on it,
school. I
fancy.
mean,
So she's cool
we have
about
a
it.
That's
shorthand.
amazing.
Can we bring up a chat message by Latino Mifune in the chat?
Sure.
It's about
is it?
a one Jenk. Has anyone ever heard of him?
When Jake openly admitted the using
Why am I not
Polymarket.
So
seeing
to
Polymarket
confirm-
is in a partnership with the Young Turks. And what's
Okay.
interesting about Jenk saying that is because
And that's
I've been using
blockchain?
Polymarket for a few months, and it's very easy to see that it's just like right wing cope. Like 90% of the user base are like Nazis, like just betting on stuff. And it's like one of the things that's very interesting that I made a lot of money on. And this, you could say it's fucked up, but there was like a monthly, will there be a ceasefire in Gaza? There was like a monthly
God.
market on that. And these motherfuckers thought that there was a 20% chance every month. Every month they thought it was a 20% chance there'd be a ceasefire in Gaza. Are you people fucking stupid? So anyway, I'm just saying, if you actually use Polymarket for accurate predictions, and it's just one data point. But yeah, I find it really funny that Cenk Uygur would openly say, oh yes, I get all my stuff there. That's just really funny.
That is. Also, what a wonderful way to wind up financing leftist endeavors is you keep putting money on the kind of things that you would never bet against unless you were a right-wing psychopath. That's fantastic. Like with the Gaza thing. You could, if you made the same bet every month, after 5 months, you'd have insurance against the one time, because there can only be the ceasefire. Well, I take that back. But the point being, you'd have insurance covering yourself, and then you just keep collecting 20% every single month.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been doing for a while now. That's how I got that Krillin right behind me.
Hell yeah. You're Krillin it. I was proud of that.
I got
It's good.
I got a pair of Adidas for my birthday from my wife that are Bad Bunny edition, and they literally
Bad
were
Bunny.
shipped. They were made and shipped from Puerto Rico.
Hell,
What does
yeah.
that
they
mean?
showed
Bad
up.
Bunny edition?
They showed up Monday, and I was like, "How fucking perfect!" Do you know who Bad Bunny is? The reggaeton rapper from.
He's
a
a
musician.
pasta-based rapper.
This guy is mega famous. When Trump said that shit, or when the Trump rally guy Hinchcliffe said that shit about floating garbage, Bad Bunny, he's got 45 million followers on Instagram, instantly endorsed Kamala Harris.
I bet. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. I think they want that to happen. But yeah, that's crazy.
And so anyway, then those Adidas arrived the next day, and I was like, well, this is fucking awesome. These came from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is fucking killer. They're the coolest shoes. They're so cool.
Yeah. Good time.
You know how many pairs of Adidas I have?
Sweater on. Nice.
I mean, I'm hooked.
That is cool, dude.
Yeah, I put it on. Oh, maybe I did. Yeah, I think I put a picture on Twitter.
I am also wearing my traditional.
So I found something interesting in the demographics of Trump signs today. In the rural areas, there were a lot.
They all belong to
of them, but there were some. But in Buffalo and the surrounding areas, it was all Harrison Walz signs.
Somebody moved the Harrison Walz sign from my neighborhood and replaced it with a Trump train sign.
Jesus, that's what they're doing here too. But
what is the Trump train sign?
It's illegal.
Or
they want to what does that
there's
mean?
all these
they're getting on
the Trump train. Yeah, it's a visual of a Trump train. There's all kinds of stupid signs out there.
I can't believe people.
If
you're so sure your guy's gonna win, why do you need to put signs up unless you're just an asshole trying to rub it in people's faces that you're for the guy that everyone hates? And
because they're in a cult and they think it's cool. They think it's cool to have that out there. Wow, I'm signaling. I'm cool. And the people
Yeah,
with the
it's
wall signs are just good old people that used to put up signs anyway, that in the old days.
the same reason that there's monsters in this country. Jake looks like
Jake
look,
looks
the
like
Mormon
Nah, he looks
would
way cooler
would
than a fucking Mormon.
they would
Way
not have
cooler.
these kinds of colors. Now I will say
No,
that
they wouldn't.
the shirt and tie for sure. I'd go Mormon in a second. Boom. There you go. Now
There you
I'm
go.
Oh,
Yeah,
Halloween
yeah.
is Halloween
Well, people
starting
will-
Do you have
early?
any clipboards nearby?
Maybe.
That was good.
I have a lot of nonsense around me, if I'm
Any
honest.
clipboards? You could be our resident
I
Mormon
got
tonight.
cheese. Different cheese
Oh.
than the cheese I showed yesterday. This is pepper jack. But
It's just on.
I
Is
got
it open?
nothing.
Is
I
that
have to go
open?
Yeah.
shopping.
yeah. I
You just
got
have
2
an open,
slices left in there.
unrefrigerated
I'll be right back.
package of cheese slices.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like
All
it
right.
when
Gonna stock up.
the
Have you
paper.
stocked up on extra stuff before the election?
I probably
Extra
should.
foodstuffs well, that's what everybody's talking about. Get 2 weeks of provisions. I have a lot of provisions, but
I always
not.
have 2 months at least.
Yeah, right now I don't have like things like, fun things like peanuts or anything that's munchy. Just
With the
throw all the
question of
shit
why
out.
they're putting the signs up, my theory of it is the same reason people wear Confederate flag hats. Because everybody does know what MAGA's about. The people who would feel nervous around MAGA folks, around
Right.
Trump supporters, those people are supposed to feel that way. And the people putting the signs up, I just think are genuinely trying to make members of their community feel bad. Oh no, Matt. Oh no. All
It's the last. It's empty.
right, fair enough. But I think it's the
All in
same.
here.
They're just they're really trying to be mask off bad people. That's my genuine feelings. I'd love to find out I'm wrong.
So
So-
Delso Verdi said something in the chat I hadn't heard.
Go for it.
Do you have it up? He's
Uh,
hinting at starting a civil war. He wants it to happen. Trump says Tuesday, November 5th is going to be Liberation Day. And if he doesn't win,
People
he'll
just
be
say this shit to him,
stoking
and then he
the
goes out on
fires-
stage and
the
repeats.
fires of fear, hate,
awesome.
and revenge by crying to his MAGA morons to do something. Basically,
wants-
that's actually
yeah.
encapsulated what we think is going to happen.
Trump wants all the benefits of a violent coup wherein he is installed as dictator for life. He just doesn't want to take any of the risk. He doesn't,
He just pays other people.
He didn't even
He
want to
pays
do the
other
work.
people-
He
yeah,
just
and
wants
also
the
like
fame and glory.
at January 6th, what happened? Like, was he ever planning on kicking down the doors? Even if he went there himself in person, he was just going to stand outside. He wants other people to
He's gonna
do
wave
all the
from his
dangerous
car.
stuff for him. Yeah, and then give him a completed coup. That's
There
what he wants.
might have been, in his mind, there might have been a moment where they overthrew the government, parted the crowd, and he walked in and became
Yep.
king. But
After the dangerous stuff was done,
yeah, well after.
after all the risks were taken, after it was clear that nobody was going to get arrested for this, and it
That
was done, then
fucker,
yes,
he can't stand up straight, much less lead people into battle. It would never. That's why all those AI posters of him looking like he's like buff and heroic.
That's
It's-
pathetic.
It's
I've
literally
never seen
artificial.
anything so gross in my life.
But
Wow.
he is like that. The point Del Sol Verde is making, I think, is accurate. Like he is trying to do that stuff. He loves the whole setup of stochastic terrorism. You don't actually, a chicken hawk. That's perfectly put. You don't actually have to say go and do this thing because then you can be liable for that thing. People can say, "Well, welcome, leftist mafia raiders." But people can then turn around and say, like, you said they should do this thing and it failed, and now you must experience consequences. But no, he's saying everything just short of literally arm yourselves and
Yeah.
prepare to overthrow the government.
Jesus Christ.
We have to
just-
not let him get away with that. For the
just to
record.
be
There must
clear-
punishment for his behavior in the last few weeks.
Just to be clear about what I was talking about, the sign in my neighborhood, there was one sign in my neighborhood. It was for Harrison Walls, and it's been swapped out with a Trump sign. I wasn't saying that there's different signs now. Somebody stole the sign and put
Right.
a new one in. I'm just
Right.
explaining for the chat. But because I've been proud of that fucking sign. But okay, so I take hope in the fact that there are for all the talk about undecided voters and people who are just going to protest and not vote. There really are Republicans out there who are over it and who are like, this is not what we want. The Democrats are conservative enough. Let's just go with them. Those people are out there. I wonder though, do you guys think that makes a difference? Like in swing states?
Well,
Not really.
Republicans who are
you mean
like
looking in.
they go third party or they don't vote or they vote for. I mean, are there enough? Because this is what I don't hear a lot
No.
about is the Republicans who are just. It
I
also
think a
feels
lot
like
of
a myth,
most of the
but I don't know.
Republicans who say that are going to vote for Trump anyway, but they're going to try to get all the credit for saying, "Oh, we can't do this," blah blah. I think when they're in the voting booth, they're going to vote for Trump. That's what I think. I think anyone who's a Republican who says they're not going to vote for Trump, they're lying to try to restore their credibility, and they still actually are going to vote for
They
Trump.
still vote for Republicans in Congress, which is
They're garbage. They're trash. Shit on my shoes. Get rid of them.
Now, I think it makes a huge difference, actually. I
Okay,
think
let me hear it.
I think, first of all, not having Trump in the executive, even if everything else goes to hell, is huge. That's Supreme Court appointments. That's executive orders being done within the law instead of just dictatorial orders being called executive orders. It's huge. And I do think we don't hear from them a lot because it's not a very interesting story, but yeah, there's a lot of Republicans who genuinely fell for the old school Republican scam. And they genuinely thought, oh, I think that conservatives are good with money. I'm never, ever going to look at the facts, but I believe this thing. But what they're not down for is the outright racism, in the same way that what Democrats are not down for is actual progressive policy changes. They're not on board with this Trump thing. And I think
But here's the question, though.
narrow percentage, but a significant one in the swing states.
Here's my question. Like, is their dislike for the racism and bigotry overpowering of their like for like the conservative tax agenda and making more money because they're small business owners and they can
Yes.
I'm not convinced of that.
Here's why I think yes.
Okay.
One, we're talking not about all of them. We're talking about, will there be enough people who experience that? I think yes, because it's embarrassing. I feel it myself as a white man. It's embarrassing to have other people that look like you and sound like you and are associated with you behave in an asinine way. But I want to just really highlight the fact that Republicans were a dying party in 2015. And that hasn't changed. They've managed to rile up their base a hell of a lot, but they've only they needed every single vote, and they've lost some people to the outright craziness, the Tony Hinchcliffe scenarios. Now they cannot exist. Sorry, that threw me off. You look fantastic. Yeah, they need every single vote.
Put a witch's hat on. I'm not going to make it till 12 o'clock.
Oh,
JD Vance said that.
Should we put our Halloween costumes on?
JD Vance said that Trump
I just can't because I'm
Hitler.
falling asleep.
JD Vance said that, right?
Yeah,
Remember what Lindsey Graham was saying about Trump? They played that for him again to his face, and he just kind of went on by it. And it's like, fucking A, man. They all knew in 2015, we're dead in the water. This doesn't work. Well, only thing we can do is lie about it's not the right time to, do a new Supreme Court justice this close to an election. All that bullshit. It's all bullshit. And you could just you can see it so perfectly. They're all in a back room going, all right, if we bite the bullet and get behind Trump, we can at least infuse enough energy into this thing to stay afloat for a while. People will keep voting for us in Congress, like, but you're right. I mean, they were dead in the water. It was a done deal. Oh, Jesus.
All right. I take it back. I'm down for the costume reveals.
All right.
You
I'm
gotta
never
keep them
gonna be able
entertained,
to-
Sandy.
Okay. I'm
So what is
never
the name of
going to
this
be able
costume?
to stay. It is called the dollar store rack costume. It is. What is that? Isn't isn't this Freddy or something? I don't even know
That-
what it is.
Looks like Jason X.
Jason.
Oh, yeah,
And then
my
see,
God.
really, the hat's big. It's just not. It doesn't fit very well with this.
All
And I
right.
could have
My
put-
costume is ready.
Could have put these glasses right over this, and then really look weird. Okay, let's see.
Hold
Oh,
up.
there's
I'm
Matt,
still
the
setting
Math
up my
Man.
costume.
There she is! Yay!
So I am a Jill Stein voter for Halloween. I'm
Ah,
going to
good
vote
one.
for
Good
Tea Party
one.
today.
Angela. Andrea.
I love
can
Jill
vote-
Stein.
Vote in this.
Hashtag Free
You think they'll
Palestine.
let me?
Oh my God.
No, well, as
Andrea,
long as it
Andrea.
doesn't. So Andrea cannot vote in her costume, but the rest of us so far are free and clear. I could show up anywhere and be served or vote whatever I want.
my
I
mouse.
mean, I'm not wearing anything that represents any political affiliation other than, well, they could say which.
Matt, are you
The
a
witch.
skeleton bandit?
I'm cartoon Halloween. Like
Andrea's
this is
wearing a
just like
conventional
Oh, yeah.
hairstyle.
background cartoon Halloween, like skeleton shirt mask. Obviously Halloween.
I'm a
Oh.
jack-o'-lantern.
Fuck?
And I like
Oh, and
Ooh,
violating
what
the
happened to
contract
it?
about burning candles.
Yeah, what happened to that?
a
Whoa.
jack-o'-lantern.
That's awesome.
I was very concerned about that contract when you informed me, because this is a
looks
candle-heavy
good.
costume. Thank you.
Let me get a good screenshot.
I like it.
Right.
Yes, definitely.
Um,
I had a wig, but I was too lazy to do that.
and
my
I
God.
think I can carry on a serious conversation dressed like this, but I'm also happy to just listen.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't because I'm going to asphyxiate after.
Who?
That's not good.
But this is not my costume for my show tomorrow night. I have a special guest. I have a big show planned tomorrow night.
What do you think? Look, okay, hold on. WTF is going on here? Oh, I mean, just think about it for 2 more
How
seconds.
do I even begin to attempt to answer such a question?
Yeah, what's going on here or like here? Okay. So I'll be in New York City next week. Do I have anything to worry about?
A lot,
Election wise?
You're going to go like that
possibly.
with your mask on?
No, seriously though, it's a major city.
It is.
No.
No, you have nothing to worry about.
No, I don't think so
I
either.
don't think so. No, I think New York's going to be fine. There's not going to be any kind of bullshit radical. Anybody will fight. They'll fight on Staten Island with each other. Don't worry about it. I wouldn't. Mm-mm.
Oh, Staten Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
left of the
I'm not
box,
worried
hey,
about
Sandy.
it. I'm gonna be flying.
Yes, Looney
not-
too.
I'm not really worried about it. It's
You can
whatever.
fly?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Since when?
I don't have anything witty. I was gonna say, since always.
That's solid. Oh,
I joked around back in 2015. There was enough people on social media saying things like, we're gonna be like asking who you voted for, like early MAGA. And they were saying we're gonna be asking who people voted for when you leave the polls. And I was like, oh yeah, so you guys better get like some sort of like universal identifying feature like armbands, like the Nazis wore, right? And then they started with the red hats like the next day. And I was like, holy shit, man.
Wow.
It's huge. Like I've been trying to think back to all the crazy shit that happened. I was like, what about the non-crazy shit that happened? Which is crazy. But what about like all the things that happen that people just don't think about anymore?
I had it was, first of all, I think it was all crazy. And second of all, I also I had a similar moment with COVID. I was in a radio station and we were literally trying to prepare a community of mostly older folks, by the way, for the reality of buckling down for a pandemic. And I remember thinking, this is the sort of universally understood thing that all humans should be able to unite against. And the Republicans will find a way to be on the side of the disease. And like a day later, Trump started saying that, I don't know if you should really be wearing masks. I don't know. I'm not so sure. You know what? Cough in people's mouths. That's fine. Have you tried injecting bleach? Like, he started with that nonsense right after that. It's just bizarre. It's bizarre. Why do we have a faction of humanity that is constantly causing all of our problems? It makes no sense.
Because everyone else is too stupid and lazy to do anything about it.
I mean, the only thing you have to do is vote, and we have people out there voting for the evil. It just doesn't. It does not track to me. I don't. There's something fundamentally I don't understand.
Hey, I don't. My conscience is clean. I'm voting for Jill Stein. So I'm going to be voting for Jill Stein, and
do what you gotta do.
Because
no
hey,
finger wagging.
I don't support.
I'm voting for
genocide,
Vermin
guys.
Supreme.
Oh God.
Vermin Supreme.
I
I
swear
would
to
vote
God,
for Vermin Supreme.
if we lose one guaranteed blue state to some nonsense, I'm going to.
No, it's
I'm
not.
gonna just.
I don't know.
I'll.
I did see. I
I
saw
will
one
age
Jill Stein sign here.
like it's Indiana Jones.
There's a lot of people. Okay, if you just compare rally attendance, I think look, if everyone is convinced who to vote for based on TV ads, then I think witnessing that or seeing pictures of that or video of that where there's so many people at the Harris rally, I think that people are just like, well, I don't want to miss out. I'm definitely on board with that.
Well, maybe. Yeah.
That's the real.
Hey, they had Mumford and
ancient
Sons
enemy.
tonight, and it was great. They did a beautiful job.
It always comes down to who's too lazy to vote and who just doesn't think there's any value in it, and who's like, I'm a white male. I'll be fine.
Can I just say something? As an extremely lazy person, like I hesitate to even consider that any of you have met a lazier person than myself. I'm going to vote. So I'm just throwing that out there. Of course, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein because I don't support genocide.
Oh my
right?
God damn it.
Make America great again or whatever.
Don't do this to me, Andrea.
But just to say, as the laziest person you will ever meet in your entire life, I'm going to vote. So, and I'm voting for Jill Stein. So that means you got to vote for something meaningful.
You're really leaning into the costume, but yeah, have you already voted? I have. Anybody else?
I have not.
No.
I voted last week.
If you can,
No,
I
it doesn't
beg you
start
to
in
do
my
it.
county till Saturday.
Had like
Early.
50 million early voters yesterday around this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big deal.
Andrea's joking, Richard.
Yeah,
all right.
Jill,
So,
everybody.
costume is a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've been watching the whole show, we're all, like it or not, voting for Harris.
Yeah. Good for you, AC. Voted on
It's
7th.
I mean, if you want to support genocide, Holocaust Harris.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You know what's depressing for me is this is the first time where I had like a bunch of uncontested Republicans on the ballot.
I voted for Yosemite Sam.
Yeah. Oh, oh, that sucks. That always
in
hurts to see.
California. Oh my
Let's
God.
do before we have the results and we can claim to know more than we did. Let's do a post-mortem of this election. How do you think the Democratic Party did overall?
Oh
Pretty
my God, do
horrible,
we have
man.
to? Too tired.
Terrible.
Really?
I would go for
You mean
a
their
3 out of 10.
campaign?
Yeah.
The best
As
part
an
of the campaign
organization.
was like the 4 weeks after Biden dropped out.
There was all this like pro-labor stuff at the DNC.
Yeah, they've been doing
Yeah,
a lot
that
of
was
pro-labor, and
great.
she talks to union members all the time, actually.
I think
I
they
do
should have
like that.
leaned hard into that for sure. I think it was obvious. If you're paying attention to polls, I think it was obvious that they lost steam big time, and people who were being polled were saying that it had a lot to do with Israel and Gaza
And
and the
that's yeah,
genocide, and
exactly.
there wasn't enough about that. And I think
I
for
know.
myself, if
Depresses me.
if
Makes me
it's
wanna
a
cry.
logical assumption that Liz Cheney will sway conservatives to the center, you can use that same logic to say it will distance progressives, right? Like, why not?
I don't. That's where I think we fundamentally disagree. I don't
Yeah,
think.
but this is why I'm saying it's a logical assumption that I'm making. I have no idea. I don't even know if people
Well, the
will
minute
be
I
able to
saw Liz
point
Cheney
to
on
that
the
or
campaign
not.
trail is when I decided Jill Stein's the way to go.
But there's
You
a
know,
lot of progressives who
You
are
guys
I
ever heard of
can't
the
get
ratchet
that
effect?
thing on.
Has anyone heard of the ratchet effect? The
I'm in the
Democrats
camp.
keep going right.
effect.
We got to vote for the Greens.
Nurse Ratchet.
So I'm in the progressive camp, listening to a lot of people pissed off about Liz Cheney. I'm not in the center or
Everybody's pissed
conservative.
off about everything.
Yeah, okay, but I'm saying,
It-
all right, well,
Yeah, it's terrible.
Just a reminder:
It's
Liz
getting-
Cheney's
I
father
mean,
stole an
no,
election.
Matt, I'm just saying it because I'm so
True.
over it. It's tiring, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah.
I guess maybe it's just
yeah,
I'm tired.
but I mean,
gotta
Jake
drive
asked
all
the
the way to
question. That's
Buffalo.
all I was.
He answered.
You wanna
I
do a
mean,
Then I'll
post-mortem?
refrain from answering my own question. 'cause
you're
it's
right,
redundant,
Matt.
but-
I'm not arguing.
I
But
think
I
the
do-
Democrats could do better always.
Oh,
Well,
of course. I think
yeah,
they've improved over past
absolutely.
years. Certainly.
I think it's fucking ridiculous that Donald Trump is as making it
As
as close
close.
as he is, and everyone
Well-
blames the Democrats for that, but
I honestly
something
I blame
way more going on out there.
I think the Democrats
Bye,
did
Orb.
as an election unit. They did much better than they normally do, and pretty darn well considering what Joe Biden gave to them, which is support of a genocide and not throwing Trump's ass in prison. Which I'm glad that the thing I am most proud of the Democrats for doing is gathering around and saying, Joe Biden, get the fuck out of this thing.
They just keep
done.
raising the bar for Harris and the Democrats and lowering it for Republicans and Trump, and that's
At the
what.
end, we're gonna
that's
have the
what-
bar raised. Boom.
But this is what is just for me. It's like I feel like people want
Yeah.
Trump victory so that they can just monetize it.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to vote for Jill Stein because I don't support
hate you
Trump
so
either.
much.
Even though my vote for Jill Stein is going to help elect Donald Trump, I don't support him, obviously. But we know when Trump is elected president because of my vote for Jill Stein, I'm going to make a lot of money on my YouTube show.
Oh my
So
God.
Jill Stein 2024, Jill Stein 2012. I mean, wait, which one? Wait, she's been running how many times now?
Y'all want to
Pretty
hear
sad.
a weird psychological
Well, I
thing?
think after
Okay.
after Kamala
Apparently
Harris
no.
wins, I think that everybody should work on getting rid of Citizens United, changing the goddamn system, taking money out of politics, and that's the only way that it's going to be able to change, where there could be many parties and it can be different like other countries where there's lots more voices instead of this bullshit corporate Democrats and fascist Republicans. I'm tired. Matt, you look so serious.
I'm reading my chat.
I know, but with the mask on,
It does
you
look.
look
I
eyes
like
wide
the
shut,
shirt.
really, yeah, and the shirt, like very serious.
It's a domino mask. It's Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good quality
cool.
mask. I've had it for years.
Yeah.
So
it's
it doesn't
good,
have
like
the
it.
stupid string.
Back when
that
you
can
worked
snap.
with banks.
Well,
Um,
it rules. I like it a lot.
This is, to
Was it
me, this is
Yeah.
more of a superhero mask. I think bank robbers who would put on a mask like this
Okay. I have a few.
would be
They're just
borrowing it
trolling.
from their superhero costume. Like you could
Exactly.
just
Oh,
go with
yeah,
the
definitely.
pantyhose or
Well,
ski
superheroing
mask.
doesn't pay a lot.
That's what I'm saying. So they're like, oh, I got to rob a bank. Let me go to my superhero
Gotta make money
cosplay.
somehow.
Glasses on.
We got eyes wide shut on half the screen here. This is horrifying.
Oh,
Eyes wide
Sandy, that does
shut.
look cool.
But I would rather
I
do
have the bag of tricks here.
I'd rather do a postmortem for the Republicans because everything they did was wrong.
Yeah.
Everything. They haven't done anything that I would say was right, except if somehow it works. Like it just doesn't matter. Like I do not understand. It just makes me it just makes me feel insane.
It doesn't work if you assume that
Right,
they are
Jan?
trying to legitimately win an election and help people. But if you take if you take the view that they are trying to either steal the election or just sneak by basically evil policies and getting people to understand that they're going to do really awful things in power and that their talking points are just excuses for those things, then it makes perfect sense. And it
Well,
totally
another
tracks.
Reality.
Is that the Republicans have done right is that I read that
Mask
Donald Trump
man.
was on the phone with Netanyahu and he's going to end the genocide in Gaza. So that's why I'm voting for Jill Stein.
God damn it.
I'm s-
Man, I was really hoping we could get Adrian on and get her take on Anna Kasparian.
Oh, can we talk about Anna
Anna.
Kasparian?
Anna who wants to change her life. Anna was trending, so she's getting her 15 minutes of Twitter fame.
No, it's just ridiculous to. Okay, so we all need to be. I'm not speaking for you guys.
Yes, you are. I give you blank check.
We need to be done with this shit. This is ridiculous. This whole like, all I'm gonna do is focus fire on the left. All I'm gonna do is say shit that I know the left will get mad at, and then I don't know if you've all seen the clips that I've seen. Totally losing your shit on your show with millions of followers, like saying things that you know the left are going to be pissed at, and I know that they know this because they preface it with, "This is going to get me in trouble with the left. The left is going to get pissed off at me. Or the extreme left is going to get pissed at
drama.
this."
loony left.
And then
It's
say
drama.
it, and then lose it when they get pissed off.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so manufactured. It's so weird. But in this case, that's genuine anger. The lady is flipping out. Have you seen these clips I'm talking about in the last 48
I've seen a
hours,
couple
Jake?
of them.
Yeah, but we like everything she says post, this heel turn that she's done is not like it's all an act. She's just trying to.
Her anger
be
is not
inflammatory for money.
genuinely about what she proposes to be angry about. The anger is real. It's there. She's just using this shit with the left as an excuse for being angry. What she really is doing is
Okay.
angry that she has to be on this fucking show that she's on. I don't know if
Yeah,
she's under
maybe.
contract or whatever. She wants to be somewhere where she can bank and get that money that they're getting in the Ben Shapiro world. That's all it is. That's what she's angry about. When she says
Do you
she's
think
angry
she's
at the left,
changed
and
her
she goes,
thinking?
"I can't take this shit anymore. I can't do this anymore. The left is terrible." No, you're
Yeah,
not
fair
really
enough.
mad
Another
at the
thing about
left.
Anna
You're just mad at your
Kasparian
situation.
that I would love to say is that she's not a smart person. She's never been an intelligent person. I would go as far as to say she's dumb. She's
She
really
should have
stupid.
got off that show a
And
long time ago.
when she started the Young Turks, there was not really that much of a left-wing presence online. So she's built up this entitlement over being like, we're left-wingers on the internet, right? And she feels like she owns that brand. So then
On the
when
internet.
smart people actually start getting online and start engaging in political discourse on the left, and she is not a smart person, she's really fucking stupid, right? She feels this entitlement, and it's losing. It's kind of like how white people vote for Donald Trump, because they're losing power and status in society, so they freak out, they rage out, and that's kind of what's going on here. So
I've
my
been
knowledge.
saying very calmly, like, hey, come on the show, let's talk. I won't use your clips for clicks, but and I still won't, but at this point it's like, fuck that,
No.
man. This is
I
all
will
bullshit.
use
Like,
the clips for clicks.
to
She
me,
knows it's
well, I
happening.
mean,
She's
enough people are
savvy.
doing that.
She's smart in a I think in a business way.
I've
She
seen plenty of
knows
people
what's
want to
going
get fired. I've seen people in the corporate world. I'm not the only one who's been in the corporate world. I get it, but I've seen plenty of situations where it's like, this person wants to get fired. They'll cash out. They'll be good, and then they can say,
It
"Oh, I
isn't
didn't
going
quit.
well.
I was fired. They canceled me or whatever." And this is it's a real anger and fury. It's so genuine, but it's all bullshit. The reasons that she's pretending to be upset, it's all crap. And I think Cenk Uygur should be like, you know what, then get the fuck out the next time. Because if I was the boss and somebody was going, I can't do this shit anymore, like literally like yelling it like that, I'd say,
Don't
well, then
do
get the
it.
fuck out of here.
Well,
You're out.
in a corporation, she would have been terminated.
I mean, how are they not that?
Well, if that's what she wants.
I think she's been doing it too long, and there's a whole
Cenk
like
has a really
familial
intense
thing there.
ego. He never wants to be wrong, and he's already produced like 15 Jimmy Dores and Dave Rubins. He really doesn't want to have to admit that he did another one with Anna. Because let's be honest here, he would rather deal with her dumb, low IQ, 40 IQ, 4 IQ, whatever it is. Hey, that's what other people said. Like he would rather deal with that for the rest of his life than admit that he failed again. That's my theory.
Probably.
Well, is it why do they all change their point of view and their thinking?
So we talked
Funny.
about this. We talked about this a few weeks ago. The Young Turks
People
will
do.
hire people who are confident that they can get clicks. And so when you hire people who are confident they can get clicks, and because they'll let you go if you're not getting they tell
Right.
you up front, we'll let you go if you don't get the right amount of
Gotcha.
views.
Yep,
So
gotcha.
that's what it is. So you attract people who are like, hey, I can bullshit my way onto the Young Turks. And then at some point look here, I want to show you this real quick. I thought this was funny.
Right.
Dave Rubin right now. That was in reply to.
Is that the real Dave Rubin that responded?
It is. No. That's
Are you sure?
geeky. Somebody geeky enthusiast.
No, who in the replies?
Oh shit.
You know,
Yeah.
It's in the reply.
Oh my god.
Dave
Oh, that's hilarious. There you go.
Hey, he knows what's going on. I'm sure
There you
Dave
go.
Rubin's having a great time.
oh yeah, for sure.
They got to buy her out though if they fire her. If she quits, she gets nothing.
I
That's what
will.
it's coming down to.
I'm going to give a
Well, where do you
tiny
think you see her going?
piece of credit to Cenk Uygur in
I
this
see her
one
going
thing.
maybe to Tim Cast because he's trying
Here's-
to actually move left. I've seen that. He's doing
Possibly,
it because he got scared because of the whole Russia thing and the
She definitely wants the
investigation.
story of I got fired but I got canceled, and now I'm on the right, and I think the left is unreasonable, and I think Cenk Uygur is like, I'm not giving you that. I'm going to let you say whatever you're going to say till the end of your contract.
Oh, I hate the whole thing.
I'm
Make
going to
her
offer
quit.
you no raise, and you'll have to turn down the contract.
I think because she cannot milk that for very long on the right. I think that gets old quick. And then what? You just start saying controversial shit that is obviously just a grift, like an obvious grift, instead of this supposed critique.
You mean
of,
like Laura Loomer?
yeah, that's what I mean. I don't see her being able to
Sad
pull
all
that
this
off.
stuff is really in real life when we have a climate crisis that's incredibly serious and everywhere's flooding and everybody's worried about Anna.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
that's the other thing is I think
Not
people
you,
should just change
Matt.
the fucking channel.
Yeah, I'm hoping
Right.
that she got in
Not
at the
you
tail
guys.
end of this grift. I don't know that this is
That's
so. I don't even
right,
think
Jake.
that this is so. But after the tenant media thing, where it was exposed that like, okay, you can see how this stuff happens. You can see that these people get paid by scumbags who do not have the best interests of America in mind. A ludicrous amount of money to do what they do. I'm hoping that Anna decided to jump ship right as everybody's like, "Oh, I'm not going to watch this stuff anymore."
If somebody, let's just say anybody, if anyone quote left the left, and I think that's only a thing because it sounds cute, but if anyone left the left and their whole deal was sympathizing with the right, you can only go so far with that before you're like, I don't know how to adequately argue with people because I actually don't believe that. Like, I don't think she's a good enough faker to totally go right. Although she says a lot of things about, houseless people and,
none of these people on the
policing.
right have beliefs.
I think she's going over to Tim.
But I don't think
he's
she's
just
capable
trying
of.
to show.
I think she gets exposed quick.
Yeah,
I think she might become like a pundit on Fox News or something like that. But she, you know what? Actually, she could be that, like, the Sagar of a show. Like the conservative
that would be
alternative.
funny.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
would be funny. That's
that
what
would
she's
be
trying to
fun.
do with her current show, I think.
Since we're making predictions, I'm gonna clone Sandy's prediction. Sandy, I think you're right, but I think it's gonna be Shapiro. I think she's gonna wind up being the new.
Really?
Yeah. I think
Oh,
she's
because
going
there's
there.
more money there. Because
There's more money.
Daily Wire, that whole thing.
Yeah, she's more comfortable in like an organization.
It would be so boring. She would be so. I mean,
she does not. She is in this
now.
for money only. That I'm confident of. As long as there's a paycheck, as long as there's some version of tenant doling out those checks, she's going to be happy as can be. And the thing that really bums me out is she will be fine if she makes a couple of $1 million before this whole thing blows up. If it's like 2 or 3 more years and she gets paid $5 million, let's say, she'll be happy as a clam to end it all right there and say, okay.
Just leave the whole game.
Yeah, and then become like with her millions, become like a streamer that's like, I don't do politics anymore because I think it's toxic. Now I do a stream about cooking or whatever the fuck.
Interesting.
Hey, who's Polar Nights? This is a huge shock for me to finally see 4 normal Americans. I need to stop watching Fox News.
I mean, I agree with the latter part for sure.
I am not normal.
Right.
Normal.
I am very
Americans.
weird. I'm strange.
Here's the thing. If you were really a leftist, if you were really on the left and you were really a progressive and you had 6 million viewers and your whole career was built on viewership and viewer support and you were truly independent and this many of your viewers were arguing with you and you were so often as they are on the defense and arguing back at your viewers, if you were really a progressive, you would shut the fuck up and listen. You wouldn't say anything. You wouldn't argue back. You would say, you could all go fuck yourselves. You're not leftist. You're the extreme. You would shut up and listen because that's what it means to be a progressive on the left. To me, you would shut up and have a thoughtful moment where you're listening. And then you would disagree in a way without saying, you're trying to cancel me when nobody's trying to cancel you. And maybe some people out there are in bad faith just using it for clicks. Okay.
I want to go on the
it's
record.
The internet.
I'm trying to cancel her. I just want to
I'll
go out there and say it.
I'm just gonna cancel her by taking her
out
now,
but not
entirely.
Not 2 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
now,
I see.
Oh, I'm gonna go out there and say I was trying to cancel her 2 years ago as well. I was.
I just want to.
Hey,
You know what?
Call me an early worm bird or something. I don't know what it is.
Let's let that ride. I want to bring back canceling people in general. I think that's a great idea. Canceling.
I agree.
There's a lot of media out there. If
Oh, sure.
somebody is terrible, just effing stop watching them. It's as easy as that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and there's a lot of people like the clip that everyone's outraged about now. The caption by the person that posted said, "What are we doing here, people?" And I was like, "Yeah, what are we doing? Stop watching that shit. The fuck are you watching that for?" And now it's like everyone's commenting, everyone's reposting. There are videos out there right away. Everyone has to react. Change that fucking channel. You should have changed that channel a long time ago. Look, I mean,
Counterpoint.
200,000 people
It's
unsubscribed
really
to the
fun to
Washington
make fun of stupid
Post.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have just stopped shopping at Amazon because the writers are who are going to get hurt at Washington Post. Stop shopping. You want to
I know.
punish Bezos? Stop shopping at Amazon.
And
And
okay. The last
because-
thing I'll say about it is, and you're right, Sandy, 100%. But the last thing I'll say about this is, we should have changed the channel a long time ago, and it wouldn't have got to the point where we all, like I said a minute ago, we all need to rail against this. We all need to be like, "You're full of shit. Shut the fuck up." Because that's what she's saying. That's what she's always said to anyone who had anything contrary to what she was saying. So how about this, Anna? Shut the fuck up and just stop. Okay. And now let's change the channel, because I am fucking done with that. But I was telling people to change that channel a long time ago.
Change that channel.
Over it.
Let's
I have a
write
lot
a-
of people on here.
There
let's
doesn't
write
need to
a
be
song
any
about
energy
the
expended
channel.
whatsoever. Just someone starts doing
Everybody
this grip.
go to
All right,
the
move on.
Majority Report and fuck the rest.
Yeah, truly. I mean,
Now,
I'm of the belief that
has
show
a few
is
that I can respect is
the pinnacle.
Emma Vigland. Emma Vigland, she seems to be on the right side of history a lot in her assessments on things.
Yeah. And
Emma
she's
is
consistently
not-
trying to be. That's all you need.
Yeah,
really.
but she's also low key. She doesn't want any big spotlight. She's pretty. She's the real deal, Emma.
Yeah, she is.
She
So
does
Sam,
not
that's that
turn
whole
me
crew.
off in any way. She's cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, present company excluded.
Like Rebecca too. I like Rebecca too.
Same. Present company excluded. Who do you think has the best, hear me out, show on the left right now? Not necessarily the best opinions, but the best show. They run it the best.
Oh, I do.
I said present company
That's
excluded.
top 3.
I know.
Excluded.
Honestly, you're like you're an inspiration.
I'm not
you
even-
produce really well.
My
But so does
show
Matt.
is not even considered left.
Andrea's not great at producing.
Yeah, I haven't done a show since what, July?
Really?
Can I say I'll announce November 1st, Friday, daily
Mhm.
show. 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yo.
Cool.
Okay.
Wait,
Cool.
every Friday?
Daily show starting Friday for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Daily. Oh,
daily
wow.
show for 2
So what-
weeks.
Explain this a little bit.
Ned.
What
No, she's going
what-
to be back and look at the news and talk.
I've
to
said
us
all I
and-
can say. I've said too
Yeah.
much already.
Oh,
Okay.
So I won't
can
be able
answer.
to
I
get
can
into
answer
the
that
Halloween
question.
stream.
11 o'clock.
I've said too much. I've said I can't.
Well, what time is it going to be on?
I can't tell anyone that. Otherwise, it's an announcement. This is not an announcement. This is a secret,
All right.
information-
I'm going to bed.
Information-
Hot goss.
exchange.
I'm looking at my list of all the YouTube channels I'm subscribed to. I think the best produced show. You didn't say independent, right? I mean, I think these guys are.
True, I
independent. I think these guys are independent, though. Jesse Dollamore. Fucking
Oh, he's very
excellent
good.
presentation. Say what you want
Mhm.
about his opinion. His show is dialed.
Yeah.
And he's very good at what he does. His social media game is
Yes.
top notch.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
very
I can see
good.
that.
and
Mhm.
but that's not.
He's
I
very
don't know
professional.
how I feel about it live though, because I watch a
Mm.
lot of videos, so I'm not sure I can judge it live.
Mhm.
When for live, I would say Like It or Not. Easily the most
What about Ring of
entertaining.
Fire?
They have a DJ. I don't watch them live, but yeah, I mean, those videos have at least been consistent. But I think Dollamore and the I Doubt It podcast, that shit is pretty professional.
I'd say
Pretty
the
good.
Benjamin Dixon show, even though it's
That's
audio
what I mean.
only.
Like it or that. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, Like It or Not, Benjamin Dixon. It's same.
Like It or
and
Not's
Rebecca's
great, too.
videos are very pro.
They are. Yeah. I hope more. I was a former news person in that I worked in the news industry, but not what they call an MMJ, which is like the person you see in front of the camera. I really hope more of those people go independent. That's what Rebecca Azor did. It translates so well to this. And I feel like that's what this space needs, really, is just news folks, basically.
Favorite Twitch streamer? Just as far as format, $27.
Adrian.
Guy's amazing.
I don't watch
$27.
Twitchers.
Yeah,
Listen,
he
guys,
doesn't call
I'm
himself
very
that anymore,
tired.
but-
I'm gonna have to bid you adieu and happy
Okay.
Halloween. I
Have a
love
great
you
one,
guys.
Sandy.
Bye,
Enjoy a
Sandy.
long
I will. I'll
Love
be
you, buddy.
watching the rest of the show, but I'll be falling asleep.
Feel free to
Good
fall
night,
asleep.
everyone. I love you guys. Stand
Absolutely.
for the duration because I'm just very tired. Night, and I have a great
See
show
ya.
tomorrow night. That's why.
Oh. Hell yeah. I'll see you, buddy. I just realized I have to change my answer, and it's not. They don't have the best politics, but damn it, it's a good show. Love it or leave it.
I don't even know that.
punchy.
What is?
John Lovett he's one of the Pod Save America guys.
Oh.
He decided, I'm going to get good at comedy, and I rolled my eyes so hard, but he actually got pretty good at comedy. It's like Jimmy Fallon-esque stuff, and it's really well produced.
Jimmy Fallon's your standard for good comedy?
In terms of success, yeah. In terms of appealing to what would I call it? Like elementary school mothers,
The Sphinx here is very interesting. The one that Matt made, like a concerned,
I'm trying
slightly
to-
puzzled, like a
hurts.
migraine is beginning to form.
So I saw this thing. I think David Packman posted it, and he was like, hey, there's an article out about independent media, and they're focusing on Megyn Kelly and myself. And I was like, there's no fucking way Megyn Kelly is independent media, right? I mean, how are we defining this?
That's crazy.
I don't even know if the Majority Report is truly independent media. They have a lot of sponsors.
Yeah, independent just means you're not part of a corporation, There's not a you're not one of many shows that this thing puts on.
There are a shitload of new YouTube shows all of a sudden.
I have a question.
A lot of new ones, and they're all like Trump this, Trump that. We went to a rally and saw Trump and talked to Trump supporters and MAGA, and it's like, where did this come from? And they all have millions of subscribers.
What's your question?
Can we get sponsors on this show?
I'm so down for getting. I'm down for getting real irresponsible sponsors.
Okay, YouTube said, hey, you can now have sponsors. We recommend that you have a lawyer ahead of time so that because we're not responsible for if they don't pay you. And I was like, I don't want to be here. What is this?
Well, I want to get. Well, I shouldn't say this on the stream. Well, but I would love to get sponsors and then get severed from the sponsorship and then claim that we got censored for our free speech, and then we could use that.
It would be really fun.
Raise money from the audience.
Let's do it.
I would love to do that as a segment where like every week we have a new sponsor and every week we find out they dumped us and we have a new sponsor to replace them.
I had a podcast a long time ago where I did nothing but fake sponsors, but I would say, hey, today's episode's brought to you by, and it would just be some ridiculously fake, like obvious fake.
I love that stuff, man. That's delightful.
I was like, the only way you can get it is out of the back of Jim's car in the parking lot behind Target. But you know what I mean? Like I would say these weird things.
That's good.
That's
that's good.
lovely.
I heard one time that there's a bacteria in dogs' mouths that kills germs. And I was like, made up a product that somebody jarred that or like
Interesting.
bottled it. And they were like, now you can have a germ-free mouth too, thanks to dog breath, or it was something dumb like that.
And then you
but
you use it to brush your teeth or something.
It's like, talk about the hair of the dog. It was no, I can't remember. You know what though? I did think maybe I would dig those up.
Do
I
it.
did it for like a
hell yeah.
year. I did it for a year on Podbean. You know that platform?
I'm
and then
familiar, yeah.
and so when you stop paying, they just take it all down.
Oh,
And I was like, oh man, I can't even live on. Okay, well, I still have them. I mean, I have all the episodes, but
urban
because
space
it
is
wasn't
the new
live.
real estate.
Yeah, I was thinking
What?
about playing them again, like on my show.
Hell
Do it.
yeah. Why not? You just put them all up and see if they collect views. F it. You have a great deal with YouTube. They let you put up infinite content, as a viewer of ours might say.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a deal. That means you can be very experimental, and I am loving that element of it.
I
Yeah, I
love
had
to
one-
experiment, such as I'm going to experiment teaching the Democrats a lesson in November by voting for Jill Stein in a swing state, no less.
I hate you so much. So much.
I had one episode that was all about how I used to weave Sigourneys by hand. Do you ever do that?
I thought I hated you the most, Andrea, but
And then they came up with a Sigourney weaver, and now it's
God.
automatic.
I haven't had to use this in a while.
Oh, can't keep getting away with it.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You monster.
I've been sitting on that for weeks. But no,
I
I
hate
had
that it's
I
making
had
me laugh.
I had a whole episode about it. Was called The Summer of Matt. And it was just have I ever talked about the Summer of Matt? It was an actual summer.
No, you haven't.
Tell me more.
It was, on the one hand, I made the best of it. It was epic. But on the other hand, it couldn't last.
Well,
I
yeah,
was
it's the
getting-
summer.
I was working freelance, and I realized early on, instead of having one of the good things about working freelance when you have a lot of clients is you can drop clients. You can be like, you know what, this isn't working for me. Sorry, I don't need this job. Right? It's awesome. It's not the same as quitting. It's telling them, as an employer, you're not good enough. And so that was very satisfying. But I realized, instead of having, because it's a hustle, right? It's mailbox money. It's like you have all these different clients. And so the money just sort of shows up and you're like, oh shit, I got some money this week. Okay. Oh, wow, this is a good month. And I realized it'd be better if I just had a few clients on retainer. And I got paid a certain amount every month, no matter what. And then once we got over a certain number of hours, I would charge them a very reasonable hourly rate. And it got to the point where nobody was, we weren't exceeding the retainer hours. And we weren't even meeting them. And so I was getting paid the retainer, not doing any work. And so it got to the point where I was working 40 hours a month. I was making like 6 figures. And it went
That's
for
pretty good.
no, it was terrible. I was so bored. And that 40 hours, of course, they
Holy
would want it over the weekend, like all at once. And you're like, oh my God, this is so unbearable. But I was going to the gym 2-3 times a day. I was going to the bar every night. It was the summer of Matt. I had the best time. I was walking like 2 miles from my house to the bar, stoned out of my mind. Just like, it was Colorado. I was just like smoking along the way. And just like, man, I'm getting paid for this. This is crazy. And so this is why I say, on the one hand, I made the best of it. But on the other hand, it was bullshit. They should not be paying anybody to do nothing. Right? And these were like nonprofits. So I felt really guilty. I was like, no, this can't be. If I quit, this money goes to something else. It's more worthwhile. I don't want to do this anymore. So I quit and got like a full-time job. That's right when COVID hit. But it was the sort of, you know what I'm saying? Like I had all this like tremendous amount of free time, money to burn, and I knew it was wrong. That's why it was the summer of Met.
You
'Cause
got
I
to make a
realized-
comic about it.
I realized it was bad, but I was in great shape. And I was stoned all the time.
I mean, hell,
It's one thing about living in South Carolina that sucks, man.
truth be told, I've never understood your reasoning there, but I support your decision to like. Let me say this: I don't understand why you felt what you felt, but I understand the feelings you felt. You know, I understand that sensation of like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing with my days.
Well, I live that exact same way now. It's just I'm not making any money.
Oh shit!
So I did figure it out, but
Fair enough. Yeah.
you know,
So it's an upgrade.
it's everything's temporary. This
Say
will all end.
money.
You know what else is temporary? The
What?
duopoly. And that's why I'm voting for Jill Stein in 2024 to teach the Democrats a lesson.
I just want to see if I'm capable of reaching down to strangle. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
No, everyone should look, I always set out to make an honest living. Oh, happy Halloween, by the way.
Happy Halloween.
12:05 a.m. on the East Coast. I always set out to make an honest living, and I quit. Look, I always get to the top where it's like, oh man, this is great. I'm making money, and I quit, get a new job, and start at the bottom, get right back up to the top, quit, start a new job. You know what I mean? So I quit this job after the summer of Matt. I quit this job. I went to work for a company, and they were like, we're not going to be able to pay you what you were making. And I was like, that's fine. And they were like, well, it's going to be a lot less. I was like, it's fine. I just need what I need, nothing more. I'm not looking for excess. And I said, also, if you try and give me a raise, just give it to one of my coworkers or some people who have been here longer. Just hook them up more. And of course, they won't do that. Right? Like that's against policy for some stupid reason. I don't know why, but whatever. And I said, if you ever try and promote me, I'll just quit. And they were like, what do you mean? I was like, you're going to want to make me manager in like 3 months. Guarantee it. I'm not going to.
Oh my God.
And they were like, why do you think we're going to make you manager? And I was like, you'll see, I'm pretty fucking reliable. Like, and you'll be like, oh, we can exploit this guy for his reliability and his willingness to adapt and persevere, through bullshit. I was like, you'll want to promote me, and I'm better off being. This is what I used to tell when I worked in a kitchen. I said, I'm better off being the best fry cook you've ever seen than promoted to a half-ass chef. Just let me be the best fry cook you've ever seen, or whatever it is. And so I would say, just let me be the best production artist of all time, instead of a manager who's now trying to show production artists how I did it. Like, just let me be that guy. I don't need a lot of money. I just want to sit here and do this job, and I want an honest living. And they just could not do it. They're like, I gotta promote you, dude. And I was like, I'll quit.
Can I interject in the
Yeah,
subject of an honest
please.
living?
Yeah.
Well, if I think I mentioned this last week. I started a contest for my new Halloween Doom megawatt. Let me post I give you the picture if you want to put it up there. I'm willing to give people money if you want to make an honest living playing my video game and doing cool challenges. You can do that. It's an honest living. So
Hell
to
yeah.
any Doom players out there who want an honest living, there you go. Feel free to ask me more questions about it if you have any. If you're
Yeah. So how much
sincerely-
money are we talking here at 3:33 a.m.?
Well, upwards of $66 per person.
Yo. And what do people have to do? What challenges must be met?
Well, I have a series of challenges in the game, so the actual descriptions are in the game, but the one that I'm advertising the most is the Bonehead Bash, where you got to punch all the guys to death without dying.
Yo. Okay. I will attempt to install this. Let me say this. I will, even if I don't successfully install it, I will upload a video of my pathetic attempts to install it, wherein you
Okay.
see
I could also
all
help
the.
you to install it.
I'm gonna look. You're saying that live on air. I'm gonna hold you to that. This
Help
is
me.
gonna be how I do Halloween. She did
Okay.
help you. All right.
Yeah.
All right. This is my Halloween thing. So get ready
didn't know
for
what
a
I was doing.
whiny
Oh, I'm
guy
ready.
tomorrow. All right. Cool.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Also, it's really hard, but if you practice, it shouldn't be that bad.
So I recommended a holiday show that Andrea and I can do. Can I talk about it on air, Andrea?
No.
Because last year we did Boomer Gamer, where I played her Christmas Doomwad. And I'm not good at video games. Actually, Doom was the last video game I played, like when it was on a PC when it first came out.
Since
that was
you said
fitting.
he can't talk about it, can we just sit here and stare at the camera during the time that he would have talked about it?
Yeah, I would
All
prefer
right.
that.
All right, about 2 minutes, would you say?
Give or
All right.
take.
And
I'm way more long-winded than
Interesting.
Oh, you want me to do that?
oh, that's much. Yeah, that's good.
Oh. My favorite part about this is Jake like hitting his microphone stand or whatever every couple seconds, and it makes like a ding. That's
I bet people could tell what I was talking about.
Sucking your cock, I thought.
No. I could give them a hint, and I bet they'd be like, "Oh, this."
Well, give me a little hint.
That I wanted to bring back one of Andrea's shows, and then it would be the both of us.
Okay.
And so if anybody can like go back and look at all the miming I just did, then you might be like, "Oh, yeah, no, I see what you're doing there."
interesting. Interesting. Tell me more.
I was miming two cameras. One looking down on something, the other from behind me. Would include watching a clock or a timer of some sort, and a lot of like telling me I'm doing it wrong. That's
And
what this
also
is.
telling you that I'm doing it wrong as well. So don't do what
but
I'm
like
doing.
in an acceptable on
similar enough.
purpose way.
Yeah, it's only okay because I'm doing it. But if you were to do it, it'd be really bad.
Right.
Of course.
But I have like a great setup for it, just so you know.
Okay. I mean, I'm open to it, but I gotta think of something then.
I mean, not professional, but
Good enough.
I'm
I
trying
have
not
no
to
fucking
say.
idea.
I'm trying not to spoil it by saying like so and so, but just imagine if you were watching it on TV, right? I could do something like that. Here's another hint.
All right.
I love how like it would be you go through this whole thing, you do the whole episode, then I say, here's one already done.
Oh,
See?
all right.
At the end.
That would be lovely.
So no waiting.
Do you know the show I'm talking about? Jake?
Yeah. Let me use private chat. Right?
Yeah, do you remember what it was called though?
No. This is before my time.
Is it that old?
Yes. Old
Fuck.
woman.
Thanks, Morbius.
Just want to remind people my chat is also open and accepting money. Oh yeah, throw that out there.
Yeah,
Hold
and
on.
if anyone wants to give me super chats, I'll be sure to redirect them to Jill Stein's presidential campaign, of which I will be voting for her,
How
so that
about-
she can help get us 5%. And then when she gets that, then that's when we're gonna win.
How about the way like the Harris campaign is like asking for money on Instagram like today? What are they gonna do with that?
Oh, I have an answer to this.
Yeah,
They
help-
are going literally every single day from now until election day. They're going to buy as many television and radio ads and probably internet ads as they can. So they're like in local areas where they're collecting money, they'll be doing that as well.
How much of that money goes back into asking for money?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know.
Maybe 10,
I want that pie
20%.
chart. You know what I heard
Man.
today? That a pizza is the only real-time pie chart for how quickly a pizza can be eaten. It's pretty
I
good,
like
right?
that. It's solid. That's good.
Interesting.
Do you get it, Andrea?
So, like, when you take one slice to eat it, then the ratio changes.
Let me tell you how a pie chart works.
Right. Okay.
Look, actually, you know what's funny? I used to be a big fan of charts when I was in the corporate world, and I would always use a Gantt chart. Do you know why they call it a Gantt chart?
I do not.
No.
Because the guy who made it was named Henry Gantt.
Fuck. It's a
Like
cool name,
nobody
though.
thinks to look into that shit. But you know, a Gantt chart is a progress chart where you show like every task you have to do, and then which ones can't start till another one finishes, and which ones can overlap. Oh, there we go. Jumping
There you go.
chats,
Dragon. Thank you.
crossing the
very much.
streams.
Hey, I'm feeling good now.
Anyway, I'm trying to get Andrea to do a show over Christmas. I think it would be fun.
I can do it. I just have to think of something.
Thank you, Morbius Dragon.
I don't know why we're
I'll
not
commit.
allowed to talk about it.
Whoops.
No, it's just I
Hey.
thought at the time it would be funny to say that.
What did you just do,
Sorry.
Jake? What the
Oh my
fuck?
God! There's so many of these that went through.
Is that your
What are
private-
those?
Is that's Jake's Bitcoin wallet?
That was meant for the private chat. That's an example of a Gantt chart. Nope. Didn't create a link either.
Oh,
this is
okay.
just-
Well, I was
This is
just
just a
hoping that
nightmare.
wasn't like your save
No, this is
folder.
This is a great. This is a great scenario. This might be almost as good as going to the gas station.
Oh my
Don't want
God!
that
Look,
to be
that
like Jake's
you laugh.
private Google Drive.
Oh, look, my masturbatory habits are no secret at all. They are every
Gantt
bit as
charts.
horrifying. Yeah,
Jake's
getting off to.
Jake's mom's like, "What are you doing? Looking at spreadsheets?" He's like, "Mom, get out of here."
I'm
Mm.
eyeballing 40. Why would my mother
Oh,
bursted in on these things?
Cleaning lady.
That's a good question. Cleaning.
Cleaning lady. What are you looking at? Stock markets? You're like, "Can I have some privacy, please?"
I like the fact that in this scenario, the cleaning lady, also I have a cleaning lady in this scenario. Right away, I'm doing better in life. But I like the idea. Oh, Morbius Dragon killing it. I just like the idea she doesn't leave immediately. She wants questions answered first.
I just want to
Well,
say I will
yeah.
be redirecting this money to Jill Stein's presidential campaign.
Take it back. Take it back.
I have.
Happy
In
Halloween,
fact, I'm just going
Sandy.
to announce this right now. Actually, I'm going to put $100 into Jill Stein's presidential campaign.
Fake.
Fake.
Fake
What do you mean
money.
fake?
That's fake. I've
do you-
seen
I don't know, let's
$100.
compare
That's
it.
not real.
What do you mean? Of course, this is real. It's
Yeah,
got
it
Ben
looks
Franklin. What are you
legit.
talking about? What? Fake? Anyway, I'm going to be donating to Jill Stein's presidential campaign because, as we know, after this election, she's going to put all of her presidential coffers into running local candidates at the Green Party, you know, on the congressional level, the city council level. And so all of the money you donate to Jill Stein's her presidential campaign is going to go, it's going to trickle down, actually. And then we're gonna build the Green Party moving forward this time.
God damn
So,
it.
Jill Stein.
Nah.
Yeah. I don't know.
I just
Such
want to say,
Goofy fucking world out there, man.
Pretty bad.
I tried to write a scary story in the same vein as the Letterhack because his ghost story I thought was so effing rad. Like I like the idea. Oh, Morbius Dragon did it again. Oh my god, thank you, man.
Rolling.
But I halfway through, I did the first chapter and then I introduced a character called Karate Dan. It didn't last long before Karate Dan.
Stole the show or ruined the
Yeah,
book?
basically.
Oh, okay.
Karate Dan, he's a
You really-
karate man, and he's
you
coming
like-
to help you out. Chop, chop.
Wow.
That's amazing.
I can
Yeah,
see
it
it.
is.
Can we get a comic of Karate Dan?
Probably.
Like, it's just
Here's
like, here's my story concept. Just hearing the name is like, there's just a totally unrelated story happening. And then Karate Dan just chops open the panel and like just goes in and just starts chopping people up.
That's almost it exactly. Here's my pitch for Karate Dan. He does help people out all the time, and it never ends up being karate related.
Okay.
It's always like, I know who can help us, Karate Dan. He's got a Kia, and then it just cuts to them all driving to the place in Karate Dan's Kia. And he's like, all right, here you go. You kids have fun.
That's pretty good.
Did you really like that story? I didn't get
I
a lot of
fucking loved
feedback
that.
on that.
That's
I mean,
like
people tuned in. But
Well, here's the thing. That story will never have commercial success because I loved it dearly. Like that,
Yeah.
that scratched such a specific itch. I love supernatural seeming stuff that's actually scientific. Maybe like I love that, which means there will be no audience for it. It's just gonna be me. Like, yeah.
I imagine one day, like some movie director will be like, "I want to make this a film. It's going to be the most boring film anyone's ever seen, but it'll be so artful, you know?"
Well, that's the best kind.
Yeah. I have another
Something
story. I'm reading Pumpkin Guts this Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern, right here. Pumpkin Guts this
Yo.
Friday.
Not Thursday.
No, because the
Karate
story
Dan
takes
is
place
trying to
after Halloween. So
I see.
Pumpkin Guts.
Nice.
And
And
this is the one where you brutally mock disabled people. Is that correct?
Yeah. It's the
there's
one
a
where he
character that does
outs
that.
himself.
Yeah.
There's a character that
does
brutally
that.
mocks disabled people. Well, as a Jill Stein voter, and I fall into that category, I would boycott that stream.
Listen,
Well-
as a jack-o'-lantern, I'm offended by the story's title. I just want to say, since we're role playing,
In my members only live stream yesterday morning, I revealed the only illustration for the book. So people
Nice.
have that sneak peek,
All
if
right.
you remember. But yeah, it's like I read the description and the disclaimer. I don't think I'm gonna do like a whole show like I normally do. I think I'm just gonna read it. But and
Yeah,
then next
that'll be
week, I
fun.
don't know what's going on, you guys. I'm gonna try to. What I was thinking was this:
I would just play it by ear.
if I can get StreamYard on my iPad, we're in business.
Ooh, okay.
Because I would like to be able to draw on the road, in the air.
Oh, yeah.
So
Dude, have you ever watched something called Drawfee?
No.
Is it like
Okay.
coffee?
Yes. This is. I want to do one. I don't want to do a whole series of these shows. I just want to do one sarcastic version of this with you. Basically, the concept of Drawfee is a bunch of friends who are artists get around together and they draw, like they challenge each other to draw things and they do it. I would love to do that with you, except it's, the first part of it for this gag to work is you drawing normally, like how you do during your interviews. And you draw something competent and we like it and it looks good. And then the second part is me agonizing over my little pixel figures, which all look exactly the same with just different color palettes. I'm like,
Oh,
and then have the audience vote, and then I'll never accept the audience's decision. That's
It'll be, you'll win and it'll be too big to rig.
A lot of my jokes involve hours of setup for like
it
a
sounds
5-second
like
chuckle.
I was gonna say, at the risk of repeating myself, it sounds involved.
Well, the
It's too
best
involved.
ones are involved. Like, the one where I got Jake to go to the gas station. That was pretty involved.
We actually made money on that. I just want to point out we made
And all that
50
money
bucks.
went to Jill Stein's presidential campaign.
My thing is, I couldn't go to a gas station right now. They're not open. This
Damn.
whole town shuts down at like 9 p.m. That's why I'm looking forward to New York next week. And I was telling John on live stream last night, hey, buddy, we should be looking into what bar we're going to go to after the majority report's over.
Oh my
Because they'll
God,
be open.
it's gonna be amazing. Also, in response to Democracy Meow's question, is Jake broke? I don't know if he's just odd or if he's off. Is he making part of that up? If you're asking,
All of
am
the
I
above.
broke? The answer is eternally yes. And here's what happens. I can't be trusted with money. I will spend it on hookers and gambling, but I rarely have hooker money.
I got to set you up with Polymarket then. I
Yeah,
got both of those things.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Sandy said bars open till 4. I mean, I can't wait.
Yo,
I've sussed out all the ones right around the hotel I'm staying at, so I assume people are gonna go hang out with me afterward. But if they don't, I don't care.
Could you put up MedToll's one's comment?
Metal One's comment.
So,
wow.
it is
I like-
Halloween. It's Halloween, and I am dressed up as a Jill Stein voter this year. So this is my Halloween costume. I'm voting for Jill Stein.
You see, it's a bit of political commentary.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Only a little.
Andrea, look.
Wawa, let's just put it this way. It's a little bit of a religious thing for people that grew up in New Jersey.
Or
But,
Maryland.
Well, if you grew up in
What
Maryland,
is a Wawa?
you're a faker. Let's just put it that
I
way.
do not.
Yeah, right. We have Wawas all over my town. It's like a 7-Eleven, Jake, but it's better.
Okay.
You didn't have the good Wawas. Let's just put it that way. I've been to Maryland Wawas. Not that good. I'm
The
sorry. Hey,
Wawa,
just saying.
there was a Wawa in my town that was there from like the 70s, like from before I was born. It was
It's not as good.
gotta
as
be
the
one
New
of the
Jersey
originals.
ones. Not as good as the New Jersey ones. Let's just put it that way. It's like the Muslims when they go to Mecca or whatever.
I'm not going to fight you on who's got a better Wawa. I don't even live in that town
I will
anymore.
fight you. I don't even live in. I haven't been to a Wawa in years.
My
and I'll
thing is
still
we
fight
don't
you.
have them where I am now.
Yeah, me neither.
So, yeah. So we're both suffering.
It's a goddamn shame.
I'm at least in a place where they sell Utz potato chips again.
Ah, shit.
Oh, wild. Man, I'm gonna have to bring you wrap snacks at some point.
I looked
I
for
tried 'em.
them. They don't sell that shit here.
I know. It's kind of regional. Andrea, come on. Was it not the best thing that's ever
It
been
was
in
all
your
right. It
mouth?
was too sugary. There's too much sugar.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There is a lot of sugar.
In potato chips?
Yep.
Yeah. God, yeah.
They had a whole layer of sugar in that bowl.
What's the flavor?
The flavor I tried was jalapeno and dill pickle. So it's not like it's like sweet barbecue flavor. And they just had a bunch of sugar. That was my only major complaint.
Sugar.
And the thing is,
Strange.
here's how I describe Rap Snacks. The Dorito in the bag that accidentally got coated with way too much of the flavoring, every single chip is like that in a bag of Rap Snacks. They're for sure lethal to eat. I'm positive that
That's fair.
the FDA is gonna attack them at some point. But
No,
until
the
that,
FDA is not happy. Let's just put it that way.
oh yeah,
I had a friend that worked at or interned at the FDA in college, and one day she was like, "Did you know that there's an acceptable amount of X in everything?" And I was like, "Give me an
like
example."
spider heads and
Wasp heads in Fig Newtons.
yeah.
And Trump
Man.
raised all of those
Of
markers.
course.
That's
Yep.
why there's the boar's head listeria outbreak and all that horse.
Like,
Mhm.
we don't need. This is. I feel more comfortable on the far left, and I think that's where I'm going to stay, just because I don't really have the option of not. Oh wait, Rap Snacks are so good when you're high as balls. Yes,
What
every
isn't?
moment of every day for your old pal shake. But to that point, like, we don't need to have very deep conversations to get people to never vote Republican ever again. Like, we just need to find a way to humorously or in a fun manner communicate, like, everything you can imagine that's bad that a politician does is like the Republican Party platform. Giving rich people, like, just obviously bad decisions. Give rich people more money. Make it easier to put poison in food. Fill in the no funding for parks. Like comically bad politician stuff.
Put
Sorry.
RFK Jr. in charge of the FDA.
Yeah.
Like, the FDA is not great, but really?
But that's the thing, though. Like, Trump's going to do all that stuff, but he's also going to end the genocide. Then that's why I'm voting for Jill Stein.
God damn it.
Just to be did anyone see that horse shit, by the way, where he's like, he told Netanyahu that, like, he should just finish it so that he could create the fuck.
I think
And
it's
then
so he can
people-
move there. So he can start building.
Yeah, but then people are actually, like, I was arguing with, like, some Green Party motherfuckers that were actually,
It's maddening. We do not have difficult decisions to make right now.
It's awesome.
These are not requiring great thought and consideration. It's like, one dude's a fascist, the other lady is some lady. Okay, yeah, easy peasy.
But they
I
both
brought the mood down.
they
and I
both are
apologize.
not someone I support because I'm voting for Jill Stein.
Oh my god.
You know, my conscience is clean. You know,
I'm gonna buy you a lovely house on a lake, like a cabin, and it's gonna.
That'd be a
it's
lake
gonna-
house. But go ahead.
Yeah. A beautiful lake house, and I'm gonna burn it to the ground.
that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be sure to claim some insurance money and redirect that to Jill Stein's presidential campaign for 2028.
2028. That's
I'm
funny.
voting for Jill Stein in 2028. You bet.
There's
I'm
so
gonna go
many
scream into a
other
pillow. I'll be right back.
there's so many other people in that party who could do a better job.
Not really. I hate to burst your bubble.
No, there are. There's a couple running for governors: Andre Stackhouse, Andy Ellis.
But they're
Couple of
actually
really good guys.
they're actually running for real positions though.
Yeah. How are you feeling right now?
Well, about an hour ago, I got really high about an hour ago, and I took a break, and I'm just coasting off of that.
Have you watched Deadpool and Wolverine?
No, but I watched Deadpool, the first one.
Oh, you didn't see the second one?
Nope. I've been watching the X-Mans.
What'd you think of the first one?
It's all right. I
And
like the.
You were watching
jokes.
that. Yeah, it's funny. Are you watching all the X-Men movies? Do you mean?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So by the time you get to the third Deadpool Wolverine, you'll get the references and stuff.
Oh, I think I got like 2 or 3 movies left in that. So I think I don't know. I don't know how many X-Mans are left.
There is a scene in this newest one that is the coolest. I've been talking about it way too much. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in an action movie. Just the sequence. And there's been similar sequences before. I talked about it on my members only yesterday, and I said what the other movies were and the TV show that compared. But I watched it, and it's near the end of the movie. So as soon as it was over, I was like, I'm gonna watch it again. And I watched it, I don't know, 12, 15 times.
Oh man.
Just it's so fucking cool. It being
I have
like
a question about
Mhm.
Deadpool and Wolverine. Because I haven't seen it yet.
Ryan Reynolds.
So I've seen a couple of the X-Men movies, and I know that Wolverine doesn't age. So how do they
Right.
explain the fact that Hugh Jackman looks old as fuck?
They cast Hugh Jackman, who hasn't aged. You bet.
He ages. No,
He's-
Wolverine ages.
Just really slowly.
He doesn't.
I
He has a
guess.
healing factor. He doesn't die, and he can heal, so he doesn't age quickly. But there's a whole comic book thing where it's called Old Man Logan. It shows him way in the future. He's outlived everyone,
True.
and he's old. He's got
I don't
white
know
hair,
anything
and
about the comics. I gotta learn. I'm a noob.
they kind of work that into the movie. But look, here's the thing: whatever it is, whatever doesn't seem plausible or logical, they'll just write it so
Like
that
that
it makes
time
sense.
travel movie. I saw the time travel one.
Oh yeah,
was a good
I
one.
mean, they can do whatever they want.
I
None
thought
of
it was cool,
makes
but
sense.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't really understand it. And I love time travel. I can recite the entire plot of Primer, and I didn't understand this fucking
Oh,
superhero movie.
Primer's so fucking good.
I watched Primer. Andrea, kudos. I watched Primer at least twice that I can recall. I still am not entirely sure what happened, but it was neat.
What was the
Well, you
Spanish
gotta watch
one?
it the third time.
In reverse. What was the Spanish one? I don't know. By the way, I just
Hold
wanted
on.
to say I did not see the newest Deadpool movie, but I'm delighted that they're making them. I hope this keeps up as like just a genre that keeps going.
Time Crimes.
Time Crimes. Oh, that's cool. I love
Los
time
Chrono
travel movies.
Criminus.
That's cool.
Time Crimes is fucking. Oh my god, you'll love it. If you're into time travel stuff, you'll
Yeah,
friggin'
I
love
gotta
this.
check it out.
Here, let me show you the movie poster just so you can be further intrigued. Look at that.
Oh fuck!
Ooh. Yo.
It's really good. Yeah, that's a good one. Time Crimes. It's really good.
Oh my god, I wrote a time travel movie. Not
Oh.
play.
Oh. I wrote a play and it's supposed to be black and white. And nobody likes that idea. I think that's a great idea. You put everyone in makeup and design the set so it looks like an old black and white movie.
Oh, that would be cool.
That is good. That's good.
I have run that by so many like play directors and theater guys, and they're like, okay,
that would never work.
but what's the story? And I'm like, who cares? It's black and white. That's a great, just use any story. It's a black and white thing. That would be, I mean, because the audience would forget after a while.
I really
Right?
want to start doing plays over StreamYard. I think that would be so much fun. Or rather, I want more people to do it. I don't want to put in the work myself. But,
Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry.
oh, hell no. But I think that's such a... Who does it? Star Kids does plays over the internet. And I think that's a cool format. I hope it gets popular. Again, I can't stress enough that I don't care to do the actual work myself.
Hell no.
I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to really do the work today. I don't really want to do my work today. I don't really want to do my work today. Isn't that the song?
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. It's like, okay, Andrea, imagine a play. It seems like it's for kids, but they're like dropping F-bombs and it's a musical, but they're very like, this is fucking crazy. You know, like they say stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
I might do a Let's Watch. I try to get you to do a Let's Watch I'll just send you links to Star Kid stuff now. I'm sorry. I'm now going to be spam. It's so much fun, Star Kid.
How long?
All right. Here's what I think is genius about what they do. Because they use the same, like they're a theater company. And because they use the same people over and over for a bunch of different roles, it's like everybody has their favorite. It's kind of like a boy band. So when they can do a joke where they are referencing a character played by Lauren Lopez, and the narrator will be like, "Did you see that? Don't be mean to Lauren." And it gets a big laugh because everybody knows who plays it. It's just very clever. They're very clever people, and I want to steal from them.
All right, let's steal.
I mean, it's almost like it should be just kind of like, oh, that was cute, and to move on, like a Saturday Night Live skit or something. But these guys really like, it's rewatchable.
It's rewatchable because it's genuinely good content. The plots are interesting. The singing is fantastic. The acting's good. It's good stuff.
Can I ask a question of Jake?
No.
Okay.
That's not going to work. Sorry.
But
I don't
we
think we have time.
We can be quiet during the time you would have asked the question. You
All
said
right.
it'd be about 45
seconds. Only about 7 seconds.
How serious of a question is or isn't it?
I would argue it's potentially life-threatening, I think.
Ask.
Yo.
You got to ask.
Yeah, ask. Yeah, you got to ask.
Well, I noticed that the candles are not actually like reducing at all. The wax is staying pretty much at the same level.
It's a loop.
Shut the hell up here for a fucking second. And so to me, that seems like it's a little dangerous. That seems to me like it's not actually wax that's burning. Could be dynamite, some other sort of explosive. But it's like there's something wrong with the fuse. So it's kind of like dudding out, right? But like it could explode any minute now. So I would recommend to solve that problem. And that also is why didn't we have a contract about this?
Look, I hadn't read the contract at the time.
Right. Okay.
And so I'm not sure if there's like a fine associated with breaking this particular clause in the contract.
Well, unfortunately, the punishment is you're gonna have to skip election day, Left Fast 10 next week. You get a 1-week ban, and sorry to say it's gonna be on election day. So
yeah, wow.
Sucks for you.
Here's the deal about the contract. There was a lot of stuff that was rolled out and everyone said, yeah, I agree. And no one ever looked at it, read it, absorbed it, whatever. You all signed off on it. So there's a lot of stuff out there. I'm realizing they don't know it's a thing. And I've decided I'm just going to periodically let you know what you're doing right now is a violation of the contract. Like I'll just let you know randomly. Now those aren't real candles. So we're good. We're good here.
Is voting for Jill Stein a violation of the contract?
Let me check real quick.
That wasn't, we didn't think that was going to be a thing when the contract was rolled out. Although in hindsight, we should have known.
I see.
Sorry, I forgot my contract was written on a Sargento cheese packet. It's not. I'm not seeing it in here.
I did a whole bunch of stuff where I was like, we all have to wear yellow shirts for the first 10 episodes. Nobody did that.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I thought it was the second 10 episodes.
No, it was the second 10% of the first $1 million is what you would get if you all adhere to the yellow shirt rule, which you didn't. So now you don't get that money. And I could see how you make that mistake, but
I don't own a yellow shirt. I don't own a yellow shirt.
You would have been able to afford one based on the kickback, but that's not going to happen now.
But I wouldn't have gotten that yet unless I'm a time traveler, which I am.
Investment.
There's a lot of clauses in here that find me specifically.
Yeah, there's a whole Jake section.
I'm not loving that.
You didn't have to sign it.
I mean, it's true.
Like that holds up in court.
Yeah, and I did sign away my ability to contest this in court.
That's why I go, Your Honor, he signed it. And they say, oh, okay, well, we're done here.
Shoot.
But what if I don't know sign language and therefore I could not read it?
I don't understand the question.
Well, if someone signs it and I don't know what they're saying, how does that factor in legally speaking? It would be like I'm illiterate and therefore I couldn't.
Do you know what that's from?
Yeah, that's a reference to a preacher. A hate preacher.
No.
Oh, I was just offended that you were.
That's from a Bruce Willis movie?
Hudson Hawk?
The Last Boy Scout.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Could I ask everyone here a question about being old?
I think I'm the only one who could accurately answer
Well,
that.
you're
why are you
both
asking
older than me.
everyone?
Well, you're both older than me here.
Are you
right?
including the
And I think
chat?
everyone in the chat, mostly except for Tyler, is older than
I
me.
have the reference to what I thought it was.
Well,
What was the
I
question?
slept like weirdly and I hurt my shoulder. It's like strained. But that was like not last night, but the night before last night.
Whoa.
And it's still a little strained. Like it's still. What's up with that?
Yeah, as you get older, you'll realize that you do need to take certain precautions for reaching for things.
Are you serious?
Bending over to tie your fucking shoes, sleeping.
Yeah. You get punished for existing in any way.
What? Are you kidding me?
Nope, not kidding.
I thought it would have been over by now, but like I don't know if you noticed me do this over the course of the last 2.5 hours.
I'm doing things. I take supplement for joints every day, B12.
You gotta have B12.
There's this shit I take when I go to sleep. I forget what it is, but it makes me sleep too deeply and I have terrible dreams. So I don't take it that often.
Jesus.
Is it vitamin B6?
No, it starts with an M.
Melatonin?
Yes, that. Here's my thing. Smoking weed was great right before I went to bed. It did not keep me up. And if it did, okay. But like when I would fall asleep, no dreams.
Yeah.
Suppress the dreams. And now that I don't smoke weed, it's like all the dreams come back. And since I was a little kid, this is my frustration with dreams is like, I do not think of this shit. It's not related to anything in my waking time. It's so frustrating. It's like, why the fuck did I dream that? And I'm sure some therapist thinks, well, we'll find out why. And I'm like, I'll tell you right now, there's nothing. I'm not stressed. There's nothing.
You seem like a rather stressed individual.
No, I'm just honestly frustrated openly.
You're frustrated. You started the show off talking about how irrationally angry you get about certain things.
Well, but I know that. But I know I am. But I'm aware of it.
You know what's funny? I'm going through the same thing. Like
I wake up,
and it's funny you mentioned weed. Like because of life things, I've had to not be pleasantly high, and I find that regularly sober me is a vicious foul individual.
Oh no, I was like this high too, but like
I don't know. I can go back before I get that under control, you know.
But when I sleep,
relying on chemicals.
I've been having this one dream since I was a kid. I hate it.
I have this reoccurring dream. I've had it hundreds, if not thousands, of times.
Wait, same.
Matt, what's your dream? What's the one that you've been having since you were a kid?
I don't want people trying to analyze it. So
what?
You know what I mean?
I studied dreams for several years of my life. I'm a professional.
And I'm confident that I'm right in things even when I have no reason to be. So I'm happy to give my opinion. But
that's what I mean.
I'm just saying. No, I get it, man. That sucks, though. Andrea, are you cool talking about your reoccurring dream? What's the one you've had thousands of times? Or at least hundreds of times?
So I'm 6 years old. I'm
Okay.
playing with toys in the living room, possibly video games in some iterations. It's like the
All right.
quantum many worlds verse. Every time there's something slightly different about the loop. Sometimes the walls are white, sometimes they're eggshell. It's these slight differences. So I'm thinking to myself, boy, howdy, I'm 6. What do I want right now? I want my mother's attention. I'm traveling across the house. I'm like a rugrat. This is what I resemble. I resemble this. Crawling around the house like a fucking rugrat, trying to find my mother's domain. And what do I find but a headless creature in my mother's bedroom?
Yo.
She's gone. So I hide in the closet, and that's where the dream ends. And as an adult, I've continued it several times, but that's the part that I had a lot as a kid.
In the dream, do you have the sense that the creature is alive despite not having a head? Like the creature is a danger?
Oh, they're definitely alive. Yeah, they looked at me.
Oh! Is it headless as in it's had its head cut off, or it never had a head?
Hard to say. But in most of the loops that I've had, they wear a shirt that has no head hole.
No, Jesus.
So it seems like they've been like this for a while.
Wow.
I
That's effed up.
had a psychiatrist friend who was always like, we were good friends, and she was always trying to like analyze me, and I could just fake something, and she would get so interested, and I would just go on, and she'd be like, "Wait, you're lying," and I go, "Yeah."
Well,
like-
good that she could sniff it out, though.
But it would so we're sitting like at a bar, or we're at dinner, and I would say like, "Oh, I have night terrors," and she's like, "You do?" And I say, "Yeah, I'm screaming my head off," and she goes, "Really?" And I go, "Oh yeah, I don't like to talk about it." And then she would try and pry, and I'd be like, "All right, I'll tell you," and I would just start making shit up, and she would be like just talking about it, and then she'd go, "Well, you're full of shit." And I go, "Yeah, I am." But one time, this was really funny. One time I let her in on it by saying, I was describing this whole horrible scenario, and I go, "And then you're there." And she was like, "Wait a minute." That was in Bridesmaids. Remember? She's like talking about this nightmare. She goes, "And you were there?" Like the lady next to her on the plane. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, my dream, it's nothing like amazing, like, oh, whoa. But it's more like me being freaked out as part of the dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Baked in.
Yeah.
It's
fucking obnoxious.
not the content of the storyline. It's the content of the emotional.
I mean, I'm not walking
Doesn't it
around
just feel like your
freaked
mind
out
is
all day.
cheating?
Yeah,
Feels
totally.
like the dream's cheating. Like, you can't just say I'm scared. That sucks, dream.
I don't
Come
have
on.
these thoughts. Wait,
Well, that's why
am I
lucid
thinking
dreaming is
them?
so fun, because you can just change them.
I used to really focus on dreams. We've talked about this before, Andrea.
So I'm changing my Halloween costume. I am now
ashamed
Marjorie.
Trump voter.
No, I'm Marjorie Taylor Greene walking behind the DNC and RNC
January
on January
5th.
5th. Yeah.
January 5th.
Yeah.
I'm Marjorie Taylor Greene on January 5th.
MJG J5.
Yeah.
That's like a license
That's
plate.
impressive. That's genuinely impressive. That we could tell immediately what you were going for. Nice.
I just figured, what could I do by pulling my hood up? And that's the first thing that came to mind. So.
Everyone thinks that was her. No one ever investigated that. Why not?
It's weird. No one ever did.
One great Earth.
You have somebody doing
well,
that on camera and you can't figure out who they are? Are you fucking kidding me?
And they traveled
my
from one
conspiracy
building
is
to
that
another one, so there should be like dozens of CCTVs.
And if it was her, you can definitely figure that out. She did not cover her tracks completely.
My conspiracy theory is that they got good reason to believe that it was her or somebody similar, and because of that, they ceased the investigation. They said, "Oh, let's stop." And the reason I suspect this conspiracy, is because she did take people through the rotunda on tours, pointing at things that you wouldn't really be pointing at unless you were talking about, like, this is how you break in. And they chose not to investigate. And because Merrick Garland said, don't even mention Donald Trump's name in this office until a year later. Like, there was clearly an active effort to not get people in the ruling class in trouble. And because of that, by the way, I'm just going to toss this out here. I think Merrick Garland needs to undergo his own trial. What he did should be considered part of the cover-up.
Sucks. Can
My
you
opinion.
imagine?
Oh, let me get my opinion out there. But under the 14th Amendment, Section 3, it says specifically, if you engage in a rebellion or give aid or comfort to those that engage in a rebellion.
Think about all the open
So
seats
Merrick
in
Garland,
Congress.
he gave aid and comfort. Nancy
Yep.
Pelosi, I would argue, gave aid and comfort by not invoking the 14th Amendment, Section 3. She gave them aid and comfort.
Liz
I would
Cheney,
argue,
ironically, would be the only one.
absolutely, yeah,
standing right
she would be
now.
one of the only Republicans left,
Yeah.
possibly. It's pretty interesting. But like,
Yeah.
I think that would have been you could have gotten rid of the, obviously this is the fantasy world that I live in where we follow the Constitution. How wouldn't that be cool if we followed the Constitution that we apparently
Oh
live
yeah.
in? But like,
should be
the
pushing for
entire
that.
Republican Party would be gonzo besides like those 3 guys or whatever.
What do you
I think
Garland?
it's time to clean house. You got 147 people that should be considered for that, just for the vote they gave. But even if you want to forgive them that vote and say, yeah, no, that was an official act, still the stuff around it, the helping out of terrorists, the promoting of lies that they knew to be lies, and we have text proof that they knew them to be lies, the engaging in the false electors conspiracy. Yeah, it's not just a matter of satisfaction to seek justice for that. We cannot continue as a country unless we agree that our leaders are subject to the same laws we are. And specifically, Republicans are subject to the same laws Democrats would be as well. We've got to insist on that. And I think the good news is, I don't think that's as crazy as it seems sitting here and now. I think we have potentially another slightly more disorganized January 6th coming up. I think we're going to have many plots that scare Americans and will not surprise us, but will surprise the hell out of average folks. And I think this time around, the momentum is going to be followed rather than fought against.
What do you think Garland would have been like had he been appointed to the Supreme Court?
Very average. He would have been. He would not. He would have voted for decent things that we mostly wouldn't have been angered by. But he would have. He wouldn't have been a Ketanji Brown Jackson even. Like he would have been the left's equivalent of, like, God, I was trying to think of like John Roberts, I guess.
What if Trump won the popular vote and lost the Electoral College, and then the Supreme Court had the opportunity to get rid of the Electoral College? Do you think they would?
No. With Garland on there, no. With
No,
any
I
other
mean
makeup,
now.
no.
I'm just kind of
No.
reading the chat.
I think
here.
they would, because they would just undo it later.
Wait, yeah, excuse me. Let me take that back. If Trump won the popular vote, they would be willing to overturn the election.
Then maybe we should get rid of the Electoral
they're
College.
super
It's
close.
not fair.
Yep. There is no low that conservatives will not sink to steal power.
So I want to tell everyone, Anna Kasparian put up, this is what fascism is, and this is why Trump is not fascist. And Dan from the internet replied to it and proved every point had been done. Every point she brought up defining fascism, he said, Trump did that.
Stupid. That's why she was asked about it live on air and then squirmed and was like, I don't, but see and blah, blah, blah. And then she had to like later on like Google a bunch of shit or ask Chat GPT to write up some horse fucking pucky for her Twitter so that she didn't look totally fucking stupid when she's a dumbass bitch. She doesn't know what fucking fascism means. She doesn't, even when she wrote up a fucking essay, it's full of gish gallop. You know, she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, she's just not worth paying attention to anymore. There's no. We're not going to glean anything from her after she started being a bigot. Like, all right, we know what she's up to. She's just saying anything she thinks she can get away with saying. In fact, she doesn't even really want to get away with saying it. She wants to get fired. We know what this scam is, and it'll probably work because Republicans aren't terribly. It's not even that they're not bright; they don't care about truth. Is the issue.
Do you guys think that Trump having the Nazi vote is enough to make him at a minimum Nazi adjacent?
Well, he's just a
Yes.
Nazi, but at a
Yeah,
minimum,
that, like
Nazi, in my opinion.
yes. What
So-
she's saying.
If Anna Kasparian now has a majority right-wing viewers,
Yeah, she's a right winger.
yeah, I mean, is it like?
That's not even. I didn't even think that was a question at this point.
No, I'm just saying you don't have to declare it for it to be true. of
I got
something.
this guy
That
on
person
Twitter.
doesn't have to declare it.
Every time I talk shit about Anna Kasparian, I got this guy on Twitter who keeps like, he's like the one follower I have who still loves Anna Kasparian. It's pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
They're still out there, the so-called left-wing Anna K fans. So-called. Many people are saying it. I'm not saying it. You know what I am saying, though? Is that I want to make America great again, and that's why I'm going to
Good
be
night.
voting for Jill Stein in the upcoming 2024 election. So,
Happy Halloween. I'll see you guys later.
have a good one, Jake.
Andrea,
How's it going?
what is this whole Jill Stein thing?
Well,
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
I was censored.
Anyway, it's like
Typical of the Democrat
Amazingly
liberal,
well done.
it's
the
exactly 1
liberal
a.m. We should
Democrat
end it.
left-wing Democratic Party sellout.
Happy trick or treating.
Happy Halloween. Do you guys think Adrian Vixen's going to show up?
Got a
Nope.
couple more minutes.
There's still time.
Maybe next time. It's okay. 2 guests canceled on us. I'm saying you may be missing us, but you're not missing out on us. I forget how I said it. Anyway, see you guys.
I'll see you, buddy.